I mean, I really didn't want today's title to be a clickbait. I've only played like 5 hours of Riptide. Alright, let's be clear. Oh, oops, I'm echoing. 1 second. I've only played like 5 hours of Riptide, so I didn't like figure it out. That's hence the question mark. But I'm figuring it out actively, and there's 3 different builds that I've ended up on. These titles are so cringe, but we got Jack the Ripper, Riptide, and Rip Van Winkle. And between the 3 of them, I'm convinced one of the cores is probably right. One of the cores is probably the right way to play it. So we've got, we'll go probably, let's go most exciting to least exciting. Alright, so this one, Jack the Ripper, is the more aggressive version of Riptide. I think overall it's pretty obvious because he's a ranger without, you know, a static weapon on the field. Okay, also this background music, Jesus Christ. 1 second. That is way too slow. That might be too loud now. Oh yeah, that's hella loud. Turn that down. Let's see. That's probably okay. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you. This is, oops, I actually thought we were on this screen to begin with, honestly. My bad, my bad. Alright, so look, I have 3 Riptide decks that I was talking through. Jack the Ripper, Riptide, Rip Van Winkle are these 3 versions of Riptide that I've been playing around with. And out of like 5 hours of grinding, I only lost once. Alright, only lost once. Granted, it was only like 6 games total. But let's go through them. Let's go through them. So, Jack the Ripper is a more aggressive core of Riptide that I was exploring. And this is mostly under the presumption that, like, you can't really have a proper late game as a control version of Riptide because he doesn't have a static weapon that has, like, an attack value, right? Just sticky on the board. He's a ranger. Rangers have bows. They have a finite amount of arrows, even though you can shuffle them back in with quiver, some remembrance, things like that. So let's just like abandon the control idea real quick, even though if you go into a long game, obviously the end state with trap seems pretty cool, and just focus more on like red line Riptide. So that's what this version is like trying to be a very aggressive Riptide that operates either off of not having to pitch anything or just like a tunic resource to not have like amazing rate cards other than a couple, right? You've got like your Death Touch, a bunch of 0 for 4s, but all your pumps are a little bit on the lower end. They only trade for about 3 damage, but you have a lot of them, and then it lets you cheat in your arsenal card with like Bolt and Shot, which is pretty cool. Get that to have go again, reload, on and on. So this is like kind of that aggressive core that I was experimenting with. And we'll play games with all of them, but this is just to show you all what I was working on. I'm convinced that Death Touch is really good, but also not a card that's actually easily played in the majority of Riptide decks, unless like the cost curve is really specific, because you can't just cleanly pay for like a 2-cost buff. You know, there isn't anything in between Nimblism and Slogism to just say, okay, like, let me 3-card hand this and get really high value, play something that's 2-cost, that then lets me set Death Touch and Arsenal and just play it out that way. It doesn't quite work, so it's a little bit of a funky cost curve. So that's kind of the core of this deck style is, well, like, when we only have that one resource, let's get it off Tunic and just play really low to the ground apart from that. So that's idea number 1. All right, that's idea number 1. This is idea number 2. This is like more of a... Wait, actually, let me see chat real quick. I just kind of jumped in this. I just like wrapped up a work thing, so I'm like working on high energy. These names are quality AF. Thanks, Big Dawn Blade. Man Sant, what's up, Tyler? I tried to fatigue Riptide, didn't feel garbage. Definitely dies to Kano though. Oh yeah. This hero has some bad matchups. You see Dromai, you just quit. You see Kano, you're just out. You should try the new chestplate. It's actually good. Well, not in that build. Not in that build. That build's actually built around using Tunic, and you don't actually get stuck. Actually, just let me explain that one more time. You don't really have like a huge trap core. Your trap core is in your yellows, because if you need to pay in, then like yellow kind of is good enough. You don't really need a blue. That's not how the cost curve's built. And then you've got your blues, which are naturally going to pitch into your deck, and they're very high value, obviously. So you can try to get some damage through that way. But you aren't really going to get stuck with traps and Arsenal. Your hand's very live. You want to play more aggressive. So Tunic's actually very necessary for that kind of playstyle. But something like this, something like Riptide, this one, you got to pay your dues with this deck. There's a lot of on-hit effects. This whole idea is more of like a mid-range Riptide, trying to, kind of dance that balance between get really high-quality arrows through, as well as high-quality traps through, and just play a trading game that is just in your favor, because you're the one with on-hits. You're the one kind of with like on-defend effects as well, and just play a very interactive game, get very high value. And I think I like this version of Riptide the most, but I'm a mid-range player. I like that kind of thing, the back and forth. But mid-range tends to be the kind of deck that falls a little flat in Flesh and Blood, because why trade when you can just like have the best aggressive hands or have the most defensive package? So we'll see if this one actually shakes out, but I'm most excited to play this kind of thing because the sideboard is really adaptable. You get to throw in whatever arrows you actually want to use the hit effects for to get more value in a certain matchup, or the traps that do kind of similar things. But yeah, I really like this one. The cost curve makes a lot of sense. The whole idea being you play like a 1-cost buff, and then you use that with Riptide's ability to load an arrow, and then you flip with Barbed Castaway to give that card an aim counter, and then you shoot that arrow. So all off of 1 blue, you should be able to play a buff, an aim counter, and an arrow. So 3-card hands should be pretty high value, and the 1 card that you're defending with per turn hopefully is a trap that negates some value on your opponent's side. So I think this one has some potential. We'll play all of them. And then here's the last one. This one is control snooze fest Riptide, hence Rip Van Winkle. Because holy moly, this deck cannot really it can't really do anything unless your opponent's playing into you. So I think half the time your opponent at a certain point will just say, I'm just going to start passing, and then like we just both time out and draw. So I don't think this one's like a real deck, but I did still want to try to build like a control shell of Riptide. And what that really looks like is just basically pretty much every trap you can thrown into the deck, but then still having some on-hit effects that take a lot of cards from your opponent. So you're trying to just like turbo through your opponent's deck, get them to discard with Codex of Frailty, get them to block Battering Bolts, Command and Conquers, Remorseless, while all the traps deal damage, and then you hopefully reach an end game where you can set up Endless Arrow and Arsenal, because I mean you're going to be running out of cards too, into triple Last Ditch, and you can go Last Ditch, Endless Arrow, and then you close with like 20 damage, and at that point hopefully your opponent's out of cards too, because Endless Arrow becomes a weapon, basically. You know, you just throw it, it hits, goes into Arsenal. Next turn you throw it, it hits, goes into Arsenal. So if you can get your opponent to 0 cards in deck, if you can do it with all this junk in the deck, then Endless Arrow is your weapon. Endless Arrow can actually just win the game if your opponent is literally at 0 cards. So that's kind of the point of this version of the deck. And of course, yeah, triple Remembrance, all the defensive package, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, you probably still lose to Kano. I don't think this really helps. And then Oldhim's probably really tough as well. And especially on Talishar, Vambrace of Determination doesn't actually work yet, the attack reaction. So you can't get through Crown when you're actually trying to throw like some of your attacks. So I don't know. Those are the 3 flavors of Riptide, though, that I was experimenting with. And I haven't really looked at anyone else's versions of Riptide. Every time I like peruse around on February, things get really confusing really fast. I see like 9 counts of Razor Reflex or like 9 counts of Death Touch. Like, I don't really know people's ideas with Riptide, but I think between these 3 ideas, very aggro core. Man, is the music too loud? It's so loud in my ear. There we go. Between like the potential aggro build of Riptide, just playing really low to the ground, having high impact hit effects, and just good value trade all around with the closing potential of traps and their disruptive power as well. The mid-range version, that's just a beautiful cost curve. This one reminds me of Levia, where everything's built around 1 blue, and you just hope it goes perfect, because if you can get that exact hand of like, block with a trap, do something to your opponent defensively, your hand, blue, buff card, arrow, slam him with an on-hit, like, the play pattern should feel really good with this one. And then this is a meme. But it actually got some results. Look at this, baby. It destroys the mirror only because your weapon is Dreadbore. Only because your weapon is Dreadbore. But hey, if you want to clean up with all these other Riptides running around on Talishar, then play this one. So let's jump into some games. I want to try the mid-range version first. Need to log in. Let's try the mid-range version first. I don't know if every card works as of yet. It is sad that the Vambrace doesn't, because that card should be instrumental in beating Oldhim, but we can't play it. Sweet, catching up on chat. Hello, Mr. Sant. I've been hearing people think that Riptide maybe is the worst hero. Well, if he's the worst hero, then of course I have to play him. I don't actually think he's that bad. I think his matchups are just insanely polarized. Like, you just don't beat Dromai. You just don't. You know how Dromai, or like Prism, used to exist as this Guardian Gatekeeper deck? Well, now Dromai doesn't necessarily fill that same role, but she definitely fills that role in shutting out Rangers. So if Rangers are on the uptick, then Dromai should answer them pretty well. So that's kind of annoying, because Dromai's already like pretty decent. Ayo. Alright, this will be cool. I mean, our traps actually get a lot of value here. Oh, actually, this person's in the chat. What's up, Big Dawnblade Energy? This person is in the chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm ready for this. I'm digging it. Can I just, like, run every trap? Is that possible? Yeah, so I don't think we need the sigils. Sigils are just a way to force load some of your traps that need to be in an arsenal, like these. These can get clunky altogether. Maybe I side out one set of them to add an extra arrow. Yeah, I think since we added all those reds, let's take out that, add one more arrow. Frailty is the minus on weapon swings. That seems pretty relevant. Alright, let's try this. Let's go second. Alright. Wouldn't Seek and Destroy help the fatigue plan? You only run like 4 arrows, so... or 5 arrows. There's the Remorseless, the Battering Ram, and the Endless. So, yeah, you could add it, but then you're adding a 2-block to a deck that's like also trying to block out, so no, I wouldn't add that one. Personally, I don't think. I've been trying to go again Riptide with Falcon Wing and Sikkim Shot. Yeah, I didn't really explore that part of the arrow side of things. Like the go again arrows I don't know, I'm just not familiar enough with the Ranger card pool, I think. So my first instinct was to just kind of go with like the Briar type of go-against, the generic go-against, and lead those into one arrow out of Arsenal. Because one of the weird things, right, is like if you load an arrow out of Arsenal and then shoot that arrow, that doesn't let you reset Riptide because you need to play something from hand. So ideally, then you load with your bow and then shoot again. And I don't know, it seemed like a little bit away from the cost curve I was playing for. Okay, so let's go ahead and force them to block here. Heck yeah, this was the whole plan. This was the whole plan. Now we shoot. Look at that perfect 3-card hand. 3-card hand for 9. Looking pretty juicy. I don't even know if Hemorrhage Boar is like worth the cut. I like the ones that gain +1. Right? But the fact is that this is directly on hit. Whereas like if I went for the one that makes the inertia, then the inertia is something they can play around. Like, okay, I just won't keep a card for Arsenal next turn. So I kind of liked the immediate interaction that Hemorrhage Board demanded. New Horizon doesn't really synergize with Riptide. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't really figure that out. Seems like all the Outsiders heroes are going to be very polarizing. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a very strange one because I don't really know if any of them are going to be like top tier meta picks, but then they also, and part of that reason is because they all just have such easy counters. But they seem like a really fun set of heroes. All right, yep, no reactions. Let's go. Fate Foreseen. Okay. Quicksilver Dagger meme. I mean, this is a real version of Dorinthia. We Make Best claimed it was broken. So, must be, right? It's just a Dorinthia without, like, real tournament results. But then again, like, neither does Riptide, so there's that. Our trap right now is go again, give Frailty. That's pretty darn strong, because they're about to swing with Quicksilver right after. Sure. They play a Blade Runner. I'll play a Frailty. Not fab related, but love your jacket. Thank you, David. It's like a cheap version of a bomber jacket I got from, like, Marshall's. But I'm very cold, as you can see. Cold. Hey, just got in the LS live stream. Do you already explain the equips? I've seen a lot of Riptides unit Hornet Sting. Well, it's really because I would love to run Goliath Gauntlet, but this deck doesn't have any +2. Like there is Wait, did Frailty actually trigger? Hold up a second. Isn't Frailty the one that gives -1? But I don't see a Frailty token. Am I just dumb? Or is it already -1? Let's see. 3, base 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not giving the -1. Oh, Blade Runner hadn't given go again. Oh, well, shoot. That's fair. Yeah, because it hadn't resolved. It was just played. I have to let it resolve and then play on top of it. Ah, okay. I see. I see. Well, in that case... kind of want to just get this out of Arsenal, but then we don't really do anything with that floating resource. That's kind of annoying. So then instead we could just shoot Infecting Shot, 2-card hand it. That's not very strong. I think that's still fine though. We'll just do this. Alright, my bad. This would have been a clean block, no damage leaked, if I just let Blade Runner resolve. Now I'm going to waste a bunch of damage, though, because this is going to hit, and then... oh, well, I guess they can't pay for it to swing again. So, it really is just... messed up. Resolution on Blade Runner. Had to let it resolve, then respond. Want to rewind? Okay, sure. If he's down, then let's do it. Sure. There we go. Now we do Frailty Trap, as it should be. Thank you, opponent. Appreciate it. There we go. No damage leaked. We dealt him 1 because of that trap. Don't you know? Let's aim it. And shoot. Just 4. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's a breakpoint on a blue. That could potentially deal an extra 2 because of Blood Rot. Card's pretty good. Ah, okay, they got the sync though. Well done. Morning. What's up, Ian? Enjoying how many different ways Riptide can be built. Sam and I are doing a Riptide challenge through pre-release and skirmish to see who's the best Riptide. I love that. I'd love to only play Riptide through all pre-releases as well. I think it's just going to be tough to try to force heroes. You're going to have to be adaptable this set. Because there are so many heroes you can end up playing in draft. It looks really cool. Okay, well, now we don't have an arrow. Oh, that little ranger problem. We could pretend to get lucky with this round's play. Don't think that's worth it. Also, these are useless right now. I guess we'll just take the off turn then. Unfortunate. Yeah, the traps do have to trigger to deal the -1. I actually misread that the first time I saw Riptide. I thought if you just play a trap, it's -1. That'd be probably a bit too broken. But that's okay. These will all be very playable in this matchup, I would think. Alright. So we don't have our buff card. But we can still try to 2-card hand. Problem is when you load in, it's face up, so you don't get the flip and aim. It's the one unfortunate part. So you can't like true 2-card 6 with hit effect. Sad. Can you justify the choices of equipment? Yeah, I mean, there isn't an inherent synergy with the ranger headpieces. Like flipping something face up doesn't really do anything for Riptide. In fact, most of the time I would think you actually want it face down if you're playing Barbed Castaway, so you can try to trigger the arrow reveal. That doesn't have base go again, so we'll pass right now. So since we start on lower life, might as well just try to get some use out of Skullcap, right? Trench of Sunken Treasure helps when your arsenal is stuck, because once again, you are a ranger. You do need your arsenal free to load something in. So that helps in that sense. It also has Arcane Barrier, Blade Break 1. The resource gained is not really something I've like built into the cost curve at all. In the control deck, it works a little bit more because you can like use the one for an Oasis or for a whatchamacallit, Brothers in Arms. So that's that. And then Hornet Sting is pretty much just because no other arm piece really makes sense. This at least blocks 1 and could deal 1 on the flip. So potentially 2 value out of it. Goliath Gauntlet I've been liking in other versions, but I don't have any 2 costs in this build. And with a higher arrow count, you might as well just do Hornet Sting. And then Perch Grapplers is just for the block. That's it. That's the equipment. Barbed Castaway, because this deck, as a more mid-range build, is focused around the aim counters. And then Quiver, because you're a ranger and you don't want to run out of arrows. And the other ones don't seem too important for Riptide, honestly. Like the one where it loads off the top, just not better than this one. Sure, I guess we'll trap just because it's actually going to trigger and then we can load. So we do get the aim counter off next turn. That seems fine. So they will have an arsenal, so Hemorrhage Bore becomes a more relevant on hit. But this one's more damage. So I guess they could like E-Strike after this, so just in case it is that, let's go ahead and play around it. It's a Snatch. Okay. Well, that's a bit inefficient for them. They have a card anyway, so I don't really care about this. We can just block some life. Oh, there's no hit effect anyway because of this. Attack action card hits don't trigger. Yep. Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, wow. Talashar's bugged, though. He still drew. Oh, come on, Talashar. That's not supposed to happen. Oh. It let you draw. That's okay. Wait, that is not supposed to happen, right? When this defends an attack with go again, the next time an attack action card hits this turn, effects don't trigger. Yeah, so it shouldn't have drawn there. That's alright, Talashar. You're still young. I understand. Devs are working hard, just even getting cards in the first place. They'll work eventually. Big fan of the mid-range version. Yeah, I think so too. The amount of like 1-for-4s you could play, like in theory you could even run Overflex, but there's a lot of them right now. There's the like red Fletch tail, I think, like load the red tails or something. There's the one that hits daggers. There's Overflex if you really wanted to run that one. There's Deadeye, which is yellow, but that on hit is incredible. Like the one cost that would then enable you to load a one cost arrow and then flip with Barb Castaway, they're so sweet. Like I think that's probably the core of a successful Riptide deck. Is just playing to that curve. They're very, very strong. The problem is you're always going to be stacking hit triggers all at once. Like you play Deadeye, cool, you put it on an arrow that has its own hit effect, you're given an aim counter that triggers the Deadeye hit effect, so everything's loaded into the one. So if your opponent just starts respecting you, you do probably run into the Ranger problem of running out of arrows. So you have to get around that, and that's hopefully what traps can do for you. Right now, we don't have the buff again, which is unfortunate. Maybe I should add more to the deck then. I think I had like 12 right now, but we're running a little light on them already. All right, so we'll let that resolve. Let's go ahead. I feel like this could get a little bit higher value. Potentially discard 3. I think I'll... Well, I need this card for pitch anyway, right? So it can't be that one. It's just going to be the Blood Rot. Hey man, Sant, sorry you're late. It's okay. I can't die to Blood Debt anymore, Josh. You're no longer needed, actually. No point. No point sitting around hoping I die to Blood Debt. Can't happen. I can die to Blood Rot Pox now. That could happen. Okay, so once again, we don't need all these cards. Since we can't load the aim counter, we can go ahead and give up Hemorrhage Bore. They can always swing with this one again. It could also be a 0-for-4. I'm kind of feeling there's a 0-for-4 coming next. Which we could then... Yep, coax. Okay, I'm down to block the coax. Why not? Why not? Just because the card they draw could even pay for Blood Rot. So, sure. Hopefully we get a damage here. Let's see it. Nope, Fletch the Red Tail. Dang. I actually wanted to draw that card. This is when it starts to feel bad, though. Your 2-card hands for 5. Very, very low value. Like, you really want to be able to keep 3. Because that's when things start to fit your cost curve and trigger everything you want. Buff, aim counter, all the good stuff. So yeah, it probably is a matter of adding more of those to the deck. We've only really seen the melting point. And we just bottomed the red fletchtail. Not cool. Not cool, man. Barbed Undertow. Another amazing card, but we're missing, once again, the 1-cost load. Unfortunate. Interesting. So they likely won't react on this. If they do, though, could go ahead and mill a ton. We'll just sink right now. And Barbed Undertow, might as well. Oh, oops. Not put that in Arsenal. Undo. If we keep a 2-card hand, we get to shoot it, but it wouldn't have an aim counter, so I think we'll go ahead and send it to the bottom. Just play more defensive this turn. Oh god. Triple Pendulum. Alright, man. Let's see a whole suite of attack reactions, please. Amelia 6. Unlikely to happen, though. Play, sink, and load the Undertow. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's actually true, because then the yellow's good enough. Oh. My bad. Too late. I've already seen what the card drew. But yeah. Load that there, and then the yellow works. Very true. I really feel like there's no attack reaction this turn. It's making me sad. I'm hoping. Oh, come on. Unfortunate. Pendulums get no value. What if he razors? What do you think? Is it going to be a razor? It could be a razor. Let's watch. Let's wait. It's not a razor. I should just block 3 then. I should. I don't want to, but I should. Oh. Alright, such a mistake though. Yeah, because this hand could have easily have been the arrow into the yellow, because this is how we're keeping it anyway. Oh well. Go ahead, Cokes. Maybe they say draw and I draw an arrow. And then I'm saved. What's up, David? Man, it's going to take a while to familiarize myself with an entirely different class, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I really... Like, I want to put time into Riptide just because he's very interesting and definitely far off from being solved. But at the same time, he has just obviously very bad matchups. He has some very bad matchups out there, like unwinnable. And I don't like that. That's part of the reason I liked Levia, is because she could really win any matchup for a couple reasons. Number one, like opponent's inexperience. Number two, she actually like could kind of shoulder her way through most games if she just, you know, got a strong lead with a Blood Rush, set up a recursion package early. Like, she could just make any matchup fine, even if there was like a fundamental problem with some mechanic. Like even Kano you could race if you just found your good pieces early. This just actually won't work. Like traps into Kano, that does not function. Ranger into Illusionist does not function. Oh god, now of course there's no attack reacts on this either. I'm getting played with. This ain't right. Alright, well, let's sink into... Hopefully sink into an arrow. That'd be ideal. Nothing to put in Arsenal. I'm trying to sink right now. Nope. That's also not an arrow. Oof. Unfortunate. And that's 2 pendulums gone without triggering. That feels really bad. Really, really bad. Should I just, like, go ahead and shuffle arrows right now? I've got nothing else to do. Like, I probably should. Infecting Shot, Hemorrhage Bore, Withering Shot. I'm just gonna do it. Nothing else going. Nothing else going right now. Let's do Withering, Infecting, Hemorrhage. What's this last one? Another Infecting. Ah, well, I can't choose all of them. I really want Pendulum to trigger. Both of them are on reaction, so I think we'll just keep this. I could cycle with Barbed Castaway, but no. Let's see. Why Skullcap instead of Crown of Providence to avoid no arrow turns? Oh, because, I mean, you can sync your arsenal if you really need to just get it out to load arrows, right? Plus, you start on lower life, so Skullcap is immediately turned on. It probably should be Crown, but the other minor reason to have Skullcap, actually, is for... I've seen a bunch of other Rangers running the one that says if you block with 2 cards, it's got like that barraging... Or if you don't block with 2 cards, you get that barraging beatdown effect. So to have like at least one sticky battle roar piece is decent into that, and also versus dash. So that's just minor win for Skullcap over Crown in that sense. I just don't think you need Crown, but it does then push a little bit further for no arrows. True, true, true. Well, we have arrows now. We do. It has built-in go again though, so I don't know if there's going to be a reaction. We don't need the blue regardless. Well, I guess we would, because we'd have to play this one out of hand to load the Withering Shot. I'll say no blocks. Where's all these Blade Runners? There's supposed to be a ton. Yeah, New Horizons interesting. I haven't really put much thought into it. But like in theory, you can start the game with just a New Horizon setup to pretty much always work. Just like set an arrow in arsenal, flip it up, give it an aim counter, and then just kind of like let that sit there, and then use your other arsenal for just normal mechanics, because it doesn't say reload. You actually just would get the zone. So like that's probably fine. I just didn't put any time into it yesterday, so didn't want to try something completely new just yet. But I could totally see it working that way. I doubt there's reactions coming. Really doubt it. I'm hoping. Give me something. Another Centauri Saber Swing. Alright, now there, in theory, would be a reaction here. If there isn't, this hand's going to be wildly inefficient. So I'll at least block this, in the hope something's coming. Alright, let's let that resolve. Let's let Glint resolve, right? It doesn't matter if they draw anything. I guess Pendulum could affect what they draw. Feels pretty bad to play both of them here. So I don't necessarily know if I will. Let's play at least the Blood Rot and then see what happens on the next swing. So when I play out Pendulum, I can load the Withering. Seems okay. But we're not going to go crazy. The chest only works on face down cards. Yeah, the chest wouldn't have synergy with New Horizons. You'd probably run Tunic. But just the idea that you could have a face-up arrow with an aim counter just sitting there and use your other slot as a normal arsenal piece seems... I mean, that's pretty alluring. That's its own synergy that is pretty cool. Because then that kind of saves you a bit from if you ever don't have an arrow. Well, now you've got one that's just parked there with an aim counter ready to go. And then perhaps like you even shoot it off your Tunic. And that could be nice. It'd probably just take a bit to get back to a New Horizon state later in the game. Well, draw doesn't really matter. If we pendulum, it doesn't mill, but at least we'd get to set the withering shot in arsenal. Man, all 3 pendulums just did not trigger. Very sad. What's the elevator pitch on how this hero is doing and what you see for the future of this hero? There is probably like a meme control version that just goes to time every game. There's probably some kind of aggro version that plays really low to the ground and tries to just put out tons of hit effects, cheap arrows, and uses traps to close that last bit of gap, whereas Rangers otherwise could struggle there. I mean, Lexi just kind of goes wide enough, has Rain Razors go over the top. Azalea would try to get dominate. Riptide would hopefully rely on his traps. And then there's more of like this version, which I think has the most promise, where you're built around just a very tight cost curve of getting buffs, aim counters, and 1-cost arrows off all at once while using like the right traps in the right matchup to, you know, have pretty strong like 1-card defense. I haven't played too much with the hero. It was just like kind of 5-hour jam session yesterday, but I did end up on like 3 lists that I wanted to try out. So beyond that, I mean, I've just been busy with like work and other things, so it's not like I've devoted days and days to Riptide, but from one day of play, I really enjoyed all 3 different angles. So every time you play Riptide, I just ask myself, why not Azalea? That's a good question. Levi was making Azalea look really good last night. Like it should start to feel good to put the reps in on Azalea. She's got something good in her toolkit right now. If you have attacked 2 more times with weapons this turn, remove a -1. Interesting. So if I boulder trap and put a -1, they're not necessarily blocking with Dynamo every turn, so they could clean that up pretty easily. So boulder trap, not great value. We still play it though. And I guess dump it on Crown. Put it on Crown. Right, I'm reading this right. You may remove a -1. Yeah, so they could just keep that back. Unfortunate. This card is really good against Oldhim. Like Oldhim right now with Titan's Fist, you block with Boulder Trap and then you can throw -1 on Rampart. That feels pretty good for Rangers. At least it should. Coax a Commotion. Well, I guess we go digging for a resource card instead of the Frailty Trap. Yeah, because we can't just put this in. It's not a yellow, so we do have to try to sync. I guess we could just put it in anyway in the hopes that this pulls a non-red. That's probably fine. But then if we pull a red arrow, that kind of punts our options. I think it's more likely to draw a red arrow, so we're not going to put something in Arsenal. Nope. It should have gone in Arsenal. I can still shoot it at least. No breakpoint though. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, the quiver is incredible. Levi was playing on stream yesterday with Azalea for like maybe like 2.5 hours. And it definitely isn't something like you play for, but the resource base went from more yellow heavy to blue heavy. So the option does come up. It does come up to just have that resource, pay for the aim counter, and go from there. And with Spire sniping, you have so much more control over actually swapping in reliably with Azalea's ability. God, it looked like a fun deck. I'm just not ready to play that on stream. I would look like an absolute mess. I mean, already looking like a mess, honestly. Because this deck is just missing... missing the arrows, missing the pumps. Not coming together. Ratios are definitely wrong. But the idea was there. The dream was alive. Yeah, so none of these would trigger, and he definitely would pay the 1 here, so that doesn't even do anything. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, I don't want to take the damage, though, so I guess we do play him out. It's a whole bunch of nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Somehow we are ahead on the damage trade, but I'm really not sure how. Really feel like I've done absolutely nothing this game, other than like one time the arrow lined up the way I wanted it to. And we missed the arrow again, even though we have like, I think, 15 in the deck and shuffled in an extra 3. I guess we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4 of our red arrows right now. Yeah, well, a good third of the deck is still arrows. Well, this can't get played. This can't get played unless I sunken treasure this out. Nothing to do with that resource. I guess this could come up. He's definitely going to react here. Let's let it resolve. Go ahead, Spike Pit. Why not? Oh, actually, I don't want to Spike Pit yet. I might as well get the Fletch Tail thing out so that I can actually load from this. Just played a game with Talisha Riptide and it was pretty fun, but I agree with your assessment on him having just too many unwinnables. Yeah. I hope he stays like fun enough that people don't just give up on him entirely. But he definitely is super sketch. You know, like if you really want to play Ranger, Azalea, fantastic. Lexi, I haven't really seen too much like new Lexi stuff, but there's definitely cards that people want to play, right? How much did that deal? 4 damage? Oh my gosh. Dang. That dealt 4 because it was a Blade Runner. That's pretty cool. A lot of value on that trap. Spike Pit. Spike Pit, baby. Wait, shouldn't I be able to load here? Because I played this from hand. Wait. I didn't load my B. Okay. Put this in Arsenal. What's more relevant? I mean, this blocks more, so we'll go ahead and toss that in. Just because it blocks more. What type of build? This is more mid-range. More of a mid-range build. So hoping to trade a relevant trap per turn into using a 3-card hand for high damage output. Has that 3-card hand really come up? Questionable. Questionable on that one. There's no real hit effect here, but we might as well. I mean, we're not keeping this, so let's just get good defense value. I think it really has to be the traps. The traps have to get reduced in the deck. Like, even though in this matchup specifically, they were mostly all relevant, that's not going to happen in every matchup. So you can't just run that many traps, because they only deal damage if they actually trigger. So probably need to cut back on like 2 or 3 playsets of those traps, just for more arrows, and maybe like 1 more pump card, and that would make sense. More arrows and New Horizon. Yeah, for this kind of build, New Horizon... Oh, God. New Horizon does make sense. Because you can just keep an arrow parked with an aim counter. I like that idea. Well, goodbye 6 life and Pitfall Trap. It was fun knowing you. Got greedy trying to wait and see if it would actually trigger. Definitely didn't. Okay, we actually finally have a hand. We finally have a hand that we built the deck around. Finally. And they come in with E-Strike for go again. Well, now I want to play this out, though. Ooh, I really want to play this out, but then there goes my blue. So I guess first I'd have to play out Rock Slide on the E-Strike, then Collapsing Trap, and that way I can load the Infecting Shot, and then my turn functions off a yellow with just Deadeye Pitfall. Flip. Okay, that'll work. That will work. Let's let this... So actually, we don't want Rock Slide to resolve yet, right? We want them to discard 2. So let's go Rock Slide into Collapsing on top. And then Collapsing is going to resolve. We'll put in the Infecting Shot. There we go. Nice. Good sequencing. Good sequencing. It worked. Hoo hoo hoo. Any thoughts on Down and Dirty? Feels like a Riptide card. What card is Down and Dirty? Let me see. Down and Dirty. I truly haven't... Oh, Down and Dirty. When you... All Down and Dirty is an arsenal, you may defend with it. Yeah, that's a Majestic, isn't it? So, there's something up with that card that LSS seemed to think was a little too good. Maybe. Maybe it's just like Majestic for flavor, you know? Yeah, I guess it makes sense in Riptide, right? Like, I don't know if it really makes the cut, though. Like, wouldn't you rather just have arrows? Arrows and buffs? All right, here we go. This is the pivot that everyone talked about. Oh, wait, oops. Oh, wait, I still needed a blue for that. Oh, shoot, hold up. I still needed a blue for that. How'd I mess that up? So I guess I can't stack the Deadeye trigger on it then. All I can do is shoot it with an aim counter. That's not awful. Arsenal Pitfall. Nah, that's fine. Oops. Yeah, I did need the blue. Dang it. It's a popper from the arsenal. True. I still think Dromai is so unfavored, you might as well just give it up and not try to put tech cards in for Dromai. I don't see that matchup working. Like, the best you could do is probably run like 6, maybe 9 poppers and like hope that that stumps their turn and then throw things at face. But you can't really be on Dragon Clear duty with arrows. You just run out. And you also don't really accelerate the game with Dominate like Azalea can to hopefully just race down the matchup. I just think you should give up. The matchup's just not going to be winnable. There we go. Ah, no arrow. Oh gosh, CNC. CNC. Well, we lose 3 cards. I mean, I can get Skullcap value here, I guess, but I could also just block with 3. I'll still have Skullcap value for next turn. Sure. Eat my cards. Ugh. Disgusting. Withering Shot, Deadeye, blue. Alright, now we've got what we want. We've got what we want, but we can't actually load it. So we won't get the aim counter. Oh wait, yes we will. Deadeye will let us load it. Okay, yeah, never mind. We do have it. So then what becomes better? Frailty probably protects 3 damage. Barbed if we say blue. Sometimes they've been pitching yellows and reds though. So the deck doesn't... I mean, it's built around blues. They don't always have it. So I think Withering's probably a little bit better. What about Down and Dirty and Brute decks? Nice 6 that you could arsenal without risking it being stuck there. That is a slight upside. The problem is it's a red. And a red 6 is already going to fight for a lot of other slots in a Brute deck. Because you don't actually want to just jam tons of reds and try to balance it out with tons of blues. Because you don't have that many strong blues. I mean, your blue base tends to not be 6. And so a lot of decks are... a lot of Brute decks are built around balancing it out more with yellows. If you just start jamming like a bunch of red 6s in the list, it's yeah, it's just really hard for your resource base. Well, they are going to react on this. I don't want to give it +1 right now, so I guess we'll wait for Pitfall. Is it worth Buzzsaw and just kind of like flip the rest of the plan? No, right? I don't think so. I don't play Guardian, but an aura destroying crush effect would be fantastic. I could see that. I don't know when it would come though. The next Guardian set is probably a ways away. Ways away. Although there's a rumor that the last set of the year is Mysteria. And I could see... I mean, obviously Ninja. I could see Guardian being, like, another class they throw in that. Maybe. Maybe. That's, like, way too early to truly spec, though. Alright, well, we can block this without it getting buffed, so I think we just do that to save the life. I do want to shoot the Withering over Barbed, because, see, if I called blue, which I would want to call blue, it would have done nothing to a turn like this, so we will give up on Barbed. It's Savage Lands, it's metrics, who knows? Who knows? I definitely don't know. I just saw someone on Twitter trying to link all of these, like, flavor texts together that had apparently, like, hinted at Dynasty, then hinted at Dusk Till Dawn, and lo and behold, you know, those were the subsequent sets. Here we go. We're doing it. We're doing the point of the deck. Just too little too late, because I guarantee you next hand is just going to draw into do-nothings. Dusk Till Dawn was named in Dynasty, but Outsiders was next. That's a good point, Ryan. That is a good point. For some reason, I feel like that Outsiders wasn't planned to be released when it was. Something... I don't know. Something's just like a little off with the set for me. Like, it feels weird that it's not a talented set, and yet that's clearly the trajectory of Flesh and Blood, is to build like towards talents. So it almost feels like something was a little off in how that set got slotted where it did. Like, you know, it was more of a, we need to Band-Aid fix the Rangers. We need to add more assassin cards. I can't speak to that truly, but it's like, low-key feels a little bit like that. Alright, they full block it. We get a full turn out of it. Cool. Let's see this next hand do nothing. No, that's an arrow at least. And a snatch. So, yep, we can load the arrow. We'll just block with... What does it matter? Neither of these will actually trigger, so let's just get... I guess for Arsenal next turn is likely either going to be Tar Pit or Pitfall. I guess I want to Arsenal Tar Pit Trap next turn, so let's block with Inertia. I don't see us winning this game. We just had like so many turns of do nothing. And I did punt an arrow turn where I should have loaded. So we already like straight missed 6 damage. Just straight missed it. And our closing power only really comes from traps. And like in theory, you could get to a point where your opponent just like swings with sword. And that's it. Swing, even 4-card hand, swings with sword, swings with sword. And if you're out of arrows, you're out of arrows. You know? Like, and then your traps don't actually trigger on that. Yeah, tough endgame with Riptide. Very tough endgame. Yeah, it has to come from Arsenal. Pitfall. So I guess it was either... I mean, I could have done that, I guess, but it'd be an inefficient block, and then I wouldn't get an Arsenal for this turn, and this wouldn't have an aim counter. So I'm sure this is probably fine. Bloodrot Pox. Yeah, that arrow is very good. Very, very good. Like, as of now, most people are just fine taking the Pox. Like, no one's built their deck around, like, a heavier blue base or something, or, like, generating your own Ponder tokens just to counter Bloodrot. I haven't really seen that happen. Alright, well, we drew an all-red hand. We drew an all-red hand. In theory, though, we do this, which has to pay there. We shoot the arrow. We don't get the aim counter on it in a situation like this, unless we take this damage and use Sunken Treasure. It's like, in theory, we could make it all work. We could. I'm willing to take 2 just to make it work. I'll let it happen. Blade Runner. Okay, well, now I probably should interact with them. Let's go ahead and deal free damage with Bloodrot Pox. And I can at least cycle this out for a resource. And then we can make this hand shoot an arrow for 9. Yikes. Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to throw away a hand like this on block because I need these arrows to actually close the game. So unfortunately, like, I just eat 4, I think. Yep. Okay. Let's do it. I mean, neither one actually gets the aim counter right now, so let's keep the Barbed Undertow in deck. Throw 9. Why can't there be an arm piece that just says, like, you know, break to give an arrow an aim counter and +1? That'd be sick. Make it easy for us. Could have blocked with Perch Grapplers. I mean, there's no reason to do it then. Right? Like, I can just do it at any point. So, better coupled with something that actually has an on-hit effect. Right? Like, what's 2 life if it's just 2 life? Okay, if they eat all this damage, then we could win through traps, actually. Now we could win through traps. I don't know if my opponent should have done that. But they definitely liked their hand. And we have 1 trap that's pretty decent. But we have a 2 block as well. Alright, well, they obviously are going to react on this. I mean, yeah, no reason to... I mean, if they had some crazy out for blood, pump this to 8, I could still inertia on it, so I don't just die if I say no blocks necessarily. Melting Point does destroy their dagger. I just don't think we get to keep a 3-card hand here for it. Okay, so actually... Yeah, that's not going to trigger on this attack. It should trigger later. Oh, this isn't Frailty, it's Inertia. So it doesn't matter if it triggers later. That's actually fine. So now I'm glad I didn't block. Make Glint pretty low value. If they don't deal enough damage, we could actually keep this 3-card hand, because we still have 3 block as well. So we've got 6 to work with. So we can Inertia. It's a bit inefficient, but it at least triggers. So I think we do it, just because they paid with Brave Forge. So let's do that. Try to fight to keep the 3. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, just in case we don't actually get to use this hand aggressively, then there's no point in arseling right now, because we have the curve of play this, load, flip, just out of hand. Yeah. I'm feeling it. Come on, game. Give it to me. Just, I need to trigger 2 more traps, but the problem is that scenario I talked about before, where they don't have to actually do anything beyond swing weapon. Like, there's no dominate with these arrows. So they could just swing singular weapon, pass. Swing singular weapon, pass. You know? And you don't actually beat that. So that's a mistake, because they have Inertia, so that's going to break. Let me let them know. You have Inertia. Wanna +2. Yeah, let's let him undo that. There we go. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Sure. So we block with Perch. We go to 1. We've got Trench to block later. We can't die to Shunt, so 1 is actually fine. Sure. Let's do it. Go to 1. We also have Heart in the deck. So in theory, we go to 1. It could trigger again. Let's see it. Let's see it. You block with an attack to buff it, then you have the greater power trap. Yeah, I mean, that was an option on the last turn too. I did think about that, but the issue being like, they have a defense reaction, I guess. Issue being is that I still didn't want to be inefficient on blocks because I want to keep that 3-card hand to make this play. Even though it's a blue, this is like kind of one of the better turns I can have. Okay. Okay. I can forcefully trigger this, and actually I've got the arrow shot again. And Heart and Findle's live. Alright, so we did everything right. We did everything right that last turn. Heart of Findle still triggers. We didn't get too jumpy on the Trench of Sunken Treasure. We load this. We give it a name counter. And then we shoot it. Pretty good. And their blues block for 1 less. I actually think this card is really, really good. Because if you think about it, if you're playing this later in the game, it matches with the amount of blues they have in their deck as well. I think this card's like very solid. And I like how it scales red, yellow, blue. Actually matches with them affecting red, yellow, blue. This could be big. Could be big. All right. We just need to trigger 2 more traps, and we can force trigger this one. I haven't even... Okay, we win. We can force the win. Well, not this hand. We can't force the win this hand. But we can force the hand... We can force the win at some point. Unless all they do is swing with Quicksilver. If all they do is swing with Quicksilver, we could actually lose. Oh, God. Alright, so we can't win with this hand. So let's just play it super safe. Just in case they do pump by 3. It could be an overpower, I guess. But then we would have frailty for it. Oh, and then we'd actually win off Boulder. Oh, so we never actually have to overblock. Yeah, so we never... Yeah, we don't have to. We just block exactly 2. Because if it goes over, we win. Conserve cards. Conserve cards. Okay, so we win. We did it! We did it. Let's let them see all their cards, and then we trigger all these traps. Oh, man. This is not a very exciting win on Riptide. So I feel like... Sure. Let's stack it there. Here we go. Sure. I'll say yes to triggers, why not? Yeah, not a very exciting win, because I think my opponent... GG. I think they, like, legitimately... If they add just a few extra cards in their deck, they can get to a point where they will just block out all my arrows and swing singular weapon, and Riptide cannot win. Like, I'm pretty sure that happens every game. GG's opponent, though. Was fun. Yeah, like, imagine this scenario, right? Like, I had in deck 1 more arrow. Just 1 more arrow. So my opponent could have easily... waited to block out that last arrow, and then just swing Quicksilver until I'm forced to die. Because I can't force any traps to trigger on Quicksilver. So I would eventually have to block card until I'm out. And like that's the fundamental Ranger problem of you don't have weapons, like for a late game like this. So that was the other reason to run this kind of version, the Rip Van Winkle, where you actually do have an endgame you're setting up, because you saw how cards traded in that matchup. In theory, if we can get to the point where you actually have last-ditch effort and endless arrow, you do win. You do win. So maybe you always have to include like 1 endless arrow, but then in like a... Now, but see, even in that kind of state, my opponent would get me to 0 cards first. This one's more built to like force demand that they block. Let's try 1 game with this one. Oh god, this might take forever though. I don't know about this. Let's play aggro. I want to play the aggro version. Which is this one, Jack the Ripper. Okay. Yeah, I'm very worried about this hero. I'm very worried. Like, he's fine, but I really think smart players will always beat him. Like, he's kind of like a game knowledge check for your opponent. Is this a DC lobby? Hey, yo. I'm down to play Viserai, why not? Yo, what's up, Big Don? That was fun. What's up, Edward Knight? Have all the games been like this? Well, I played a bunch of Riptide yesterday off stream, and I was winning a ton, but they were mostly Riptide mirrors, and I was on a Dreadbore Riptide, so I don't think those really count. So far, we've only played the 1 game today, and yeah, it's very much just like that. I feel like most games of Riptide are going to look just like that, where it's kind of up to your opponent to misplay the endgame, because you don't really have one. Okay, so into Viserai. Just normal defense reactions are probably going to be pretty useful. A lot of our traps probably won't trigger greater than its base. Well, they have Shrill, so that's actually fine. Reactions, not useful. Go Again is useful. Countering Go Again, rather. So technically, like, I don't think this ever triggers, but it's a blue 3 block, so why not? I'm kind of mid on snatches. Let me actually try without snatches right now and just see if this works. This deck could be so bad. I'm not sure about this one at all, but I'm ready. We have a B there. I think let's take that. Yeah, because without snatch, we don't really need the snaps. All right, let's try it. No idea on this one. No, literally no idea on this one at all. Giving it a go, though. All right, Scar for Scar, already live. Then we've got Lace into Endless. All right, turn's busted. Let's go. Turn is busted, confirmed. Redline Riptide. This deck would be better with Death Dealer. Actually, yeah, that's true. That just makes sense. Although you're not really loading, you would just do it off Tunic, but then even then you net a card. Let's see it. Give me equipment, turn 0. I mean, we can pretend this was good. I don't get an arsenal out of it. I think that's fine. If I can just draw every hand like this, though, you know? That's kind of the point. How's the Oldhim match? Oh, yeah, also, like, probably unwinnable. Like, I'm telling you, this hero is going to have very fundamental problems. Very fundamental problems. What is happening, opponent? I'm attacking you. Alright, cool. I did get armor out of him. I'll take it. But can we actually draw hands like that every turn? Probably not. Codex. Codex. That really only gets us the Endless Arrow, so the Ponder's like a little bit dead. I guess it means we can block with Drill Shot. Like, really, that means we can block with the whole hand and still throw Drill Shot. That's fine. That is fine. Although their hand looks like they're not demanding much. Yeah, it's a very bad hand from them. Unfortunate, then. So I guess we can just play the Death Touch. No, that's super awkward, because Codex would load something else. I guess it could load Scar for a Scar. We could go Codex, load Scar. Oh, but that doesn't put this in Arsenal, because Scar's getting played from Arsenal. Dang it. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. So I guess I can just block Death Touch then. I'll just block like this. And then Barbed Castaway to float 1, Codex the Death Touch, shoot it. That seems fine. They are going to have an arsenal. Let's get Death Touch in here. Let's shoot Death Touch. Not bad. Not bad. Means a 2-card hand for 6. We get a Ponder out of it. So actually, I'd say it's pretty good. Frailty's going to hit their weapon and arsenal. Going into a Tunic turn. Okay. Wait, almost 200 viewers? Are you serious? I don't even have YouTube open. No way. Whoa, 176 are watching this bum-ass Riptide gameplay? Yikes. Thank you all, but I am not an expert. I am just winging it. Hopefully it goes well. I mean, if we can end up, 3-0 trying all the decks, then there's something there. But I definitely have not put in the thought of even some viewers. People in chat are telling me I'm doing things wrong. I totally trust them. Okay, so I choose what to give them. Frailty's already going to hit. Blood Rot is just damage, so we'll do it. Ooh, I like that. Okay. All right, we've got the synergies. Hopefully we can block with Sync and still end up lower than them, and then we've actually got the Scar for Scar, take aim, Virulent Touch turn. Oh, that's funny. I'm eating damage this turn. Let's do it. Hopefully I end up like exactly at 32. I'll allow that. 2 rune chants, Dread Triptych. Well, Sync really covers that up beautifully, but if I'm trying to take damage, it's not the smart play. I mean, I don't have to play Scar. That's just the fancy way to do it. It could still just be take, Virulent. And that's fine. Arsenal Scar. Well, I can Sync Scar. Yeah, I'll Sync Scar. I mean, there's that. What am I saying? Take aim doesn't help. Yeah, it does. It doesn't say arrow. It just hits a ranger. Oh, Blood Rot as well. Yeah, good point, chat. Yeah, so Scar was not going to really be active this turn. Death Touch. Oh! Alright, now we've got it. Now we've got it. This is sick. We've got take aim, Tunic, Death Touch, baby. Whoo! Alright, deck's working as intended. Working as intended. Okay, so now we should have taken snaps. Because it could have been take aim, Virulent, snaps, take aim, Death Touch, off Tunic. Dang it. Dang it. Missing snaps right now. Hardcore. That's alright. It's not like it'll be truly inefficient. I'll just Arsenal Virulent Touch. Yeah, take aim is... I think it's the only Ranger buff card that says Ranger attack action, which is very odd. Because it came out in a set where other things said arrow. So, I mean, here we go. It's coming together. They reveled into end turn. I haven't really watched what my opponent's doing. Not gonna lie. I'm getting too hype over this hand. This is what dreams are made of. Alright, I mean, they pitch to swing. Like this. Yes, there you go. Okay, or that. That is more damage. But they could have put Swarming in... No, because they would have pitched it. Yes, this is just right out of them. Okay, well now I missed the Scar a little bit, because I am going to eat a ton off this.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you.
I could have kept Scar. Could have kept Scar. It would have been inefficient use of Tunic. So ideally it was Sync Virulent, but I didn't know it would be Death Touch. Still, this is a lot of damage. It hurts. Ow. Ow. They don't know what's coming though. Yeah, Revel's a card that Viserai abuses, don't he? It is, it is. "12 attack Death Touch." That's a 3-card 12 with an on-hit. Seems good. Not sure what the trap sweet spot is, but I bet you it's 9 to 12. Yeah. I mean, I think you always run the legendaries. You always run all 3, because at worst they're 0 block, you know, or they're 3 block blues, right? And then there's probably like a playset of the yellows and a playset of the reds that makes sense. And then if you really wanted to, you could add in one of the ones that needs to be an arsenal, because those are applicable at any point, especially if decks have very specific cost curves. You can mess with that. So, yeah, let's take Blood Rot again. It's a race after all. Alright, well, we don't have anything to pay for with these. So we might just block with this whole hand. We could just block for 9, swing Virulent, Arsenal Virulent. That seems fine. Yeah, snaps is way better. There's so many lines having snaps up here. Not just last turn, but even here. Oh well. What if you had your core and sided in traps for your different matchups. That was kind of the idea with this version, and then the mid-range version kind of just lets traps be more the core, and then the arrows were sided in and out more because inertia and frailty do different things for different matchups. But that is probably how Riptide is meant to be built. I don't think you should put your sideboard towards things like, I'm going to bring in 6 poppers and remembrance and like hope I can beat Dromai that way. Like, I think you just give up on that kind of match, right? Just give it up. It is so unfavored that you should just let it be. So there actually is no Mauvrion on this. So this is just their turn. So I mean, I could keep the, like, a give and take and just throw that into Virulent. Still block 6. Do it that way. But then, once again, if I had Snaps here, it could be Virulent into give and take, load Drill Shot, shoot Drill Shot, or even shoot the Virulent. So I do miss Snaps. Yeah, I think we'll just do give and take into Virulent. Seems pretty bad. But, I mean, it just makes sense. Like, we're only taking 1 damage to make that play, even though it's inefficient. And they took the damage off Blood Rot. So there's 2 non-blues. I mean, that makes sense. Like, they're not going to Arsenal a blue, but still. Give and take is just kind of free damage, so they probably eat it. If they don't, then we put Take Aim back on top. Take Aim is just nuts. Like, this deck might want to run even yellow Take Aim. I could see that. Actually, maybe even all 9 Take Aim. Well, no, because it blocks 2. Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that. Maybe like 1 or 2 yellows, though, because this card is so good for what the deck's trying to do. But you have other ways to do it with, like, Nimblism, plus the, like, Scout the Battlescape or whatever it's called. There's, like, a new one. But I could see adding, like, 1 or 2 more.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Yeah, Nimblism is in the deck. All the buff cards are in the deck that have synergies. So, like, there's a bunch of them, actually. There's Lace with Bloodrot, another huge one. Premeditate, huge one. Scout the Periphery is the one I was talking about. I didn't even know this card existed, and then I was looking at 0 for 3s. But if that's not enough, then you could probably dip into... Actually, looking at that, you probably wouldn't. You'd want to go with maybe a Lace? Anyway. The deck's probably fine as is. You don't need more of the buff cards. Yeah, this card's nuts, though. And this look at the top of your opponent's deck doesn't really do anything. It's just another 0 for 3. That lets you then load in with Riptide. It was armor, yeah. Not a card. It says defended by an attack, or defended by an action card, rather. Warmonger's Recital cost 1. Yeah, actually, we could flip it and add some of the 1 cost buffs, so that if you don't have an attack to launch with the Tunic, it could be the buff. I could see that happening. Alright, we don't have the Tunic for our juicy plays here. And they kept a full hand and are starting with Mordred, so this is pretty terrifying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Actually, not very good out of them, is it? Yeah, that was nothing special. So I probably just eat this whole thing so that I can go Premeditate, Take Aim, Death Touch, shoot Death Touch, pitch Bolton Shot, because I'll have a Ponder. Well, if it hits. Huh. Yeah, I can totally eat 7 here. I can make use of this hand. So, let's just do it. Eat 7. Can Scout not target yourself? That's a good question. Look at the top card of target heroes deck. Ah, that is nice. There you go. There's the built-in synergy then. You get your own opt effect going. That's pretty good. That starts to make sense. Although this weapon is just like definitely not right for this kind of build. There's no way. There's no way. Like, especially since Scout gets you that buff. Maybe it should be Death Dealer, because then you'll actually draw it, or even Redliner. Okay. So do we think Premeditate's gonna hit? Do we think it's gonna hit? Or is Death Touch gonna hit? I'm down. I'm convinced. They're not gonna full block this, come on. They're not gonna full block another 12 attack Death Touch. There's no way. I could see Dreadbore, sure. I mean, a lot of your damage isn't coming from arrows, but I could see it. Okay, so I do get the Ponder off. Nice, so we get our arsenal here. A 4-card hand with 2 rune chants. I'm at 15. Oh. Okay, now what's happening? Hold up a second, opponent. Now what's happening? There's no way that's Tome of Final, because you wouldn't have pitched a red. Right? Like, come on. What was going on here? I got questions, Chris. It is a tome, but they're pitching reds. Oh no. Opponent, not like this. There's no way that's worth it. Just like block with that hand, you know? You'll protect more life. That's okay. That's okay. Collapsing trap? Sure, a little worried that it might get trapped. If they don't attack me, then it does get a little stuck. But if they attack me at all, I could crown it away if it's not live. That's not awful. We'll take it. Uh-oh. Alright, now we ran into an issue. We drew no attacks. So I think we're forced to crown then. We're forced to crown. Yikes. We can hope to get to the point where we start killing them with traps. We could believe. Yeah, so this is going to do more on defense if we pitch it, so we like that. Oh, you know what? Wait, there's no way Scout the Periphery does anything to then affect how we draw that card. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's too bad. Maybe we take something that could load from top of deck. Maybe we take that kind of bow, so that you can hope to get out of situations like this. Because we could go Scout, look at top card. Oh, but it's not a true opt. So it just is what it is. Never mind. Never mind. I think we can just take the off turn here then. Just deal 2 damage with traps. Soak Arcane. And then, like, Arsenal, I guess, Scout. Sure. So collapsing's actually no good at all here, though. Yeah, that does absolutely nothing. That's really rough. So I guess we do just crown it away in the hopes we find something. Because we'll actually see that before we block with any other reactions. We know Rosetta's at least coming, and I'm down to pitch Spike Pit into that. Yeah. Because that'll still get value off the Rune Chant and the Rosetta. Alright, let's do it. Dang. Unfortunate. So we really just don't have an attack next turn. Fallen a little short. Fallen a little short. No reason to put either in Arsenal. Makes no difference. But we full block that. We still deal him damage with the Blood Rot and the trap that triggered. And we can go ahead and block this. As of now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arrows in the deck. Versus... I think no matter what, this is the more flexible card. So actually, we'll always block this way. Yeah. Alright, I mean, we're slowly winning. I'm very impressed with this deck, actually. Even with, like, a bow that's doing absolutely nothing. A bow that is literally just sitting here looking ugly. Bolton shots. Okay, well, now I wish I had the Lace with Blood Rot. Oh, well. Spike can kill them quick because they play a lot on 9 of. Yeah, the issue is it only triggers if they play a reaction. And Viserai does not play reactions. Like, maybe one Razor. Right? Maybe. So, Spike is... Right, Spike's the one... Let me double check. I don't want to speak incorrectly. Spike is when they defend and the attacking hero has played or activated a reaction. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I don't think that effect's actually going to trigger ever. But in theory, yes. It could do a lot. Alright, well, we can actually try to cheese him with Pitfall. Oh no, we can't get this out. We don't have the chess piece. So our turn is just going to be this into Bolton. Into hopefully load a second Bolton. Shoot the Bolton. Keep Pitfall in Arsenal, I guess. So we'll just block with Sync. And we might as well sync the Pitfall, because we could find something that's more aggressive. Feign Death isn't great in this deck. It's not in this deck. I think I was just looking at the... No, yeah, the Feign Death isn't in this deck. What are we talking about? Alright, well, that is more aggressive. So we like that. We can even force the second Bolton off with Bullseye Bracers. Pitfall is 3 damage, though. That's pretty aggressive. Pitfall is 3. Oh yeah, this one, if they don't pay. Yeah, but the issue was we actually couldn't... We'd get it in Arsenal, but if they full block this next hand, then it just potentially gets stuck for the next one. So I'd rather turn it into aggression that I can more so control. Because they are going to be forced to full block. They're only at 5. So... let's kick things off. Get this scout going. I will target myself. It shows me a toxicity. So that's what the Ponder is going to draw. I mean, that's fine. On hit, lose 3. I mean, it turns anything into, like, must block. Nothing I can do about it, right? It's not an opt. Oh. Oh, okay, Scout. They're just showing me both. Thank you, Scout. Yeah, okay. I had to play Scout first anyway to free up the Arsenal. Duh. My bad. Here it comes. No matter what, we could force it with Bullseye, which could be cute. 10. Make the turn come in for 15. Yeah, I mean, we should... If they full block this, then obviously, like, we should crack Bullseye here. I don't think you really get this play that much in the deck. Plus, we have a Ponder token. Oh, well, if it hits, we'd have a Ponder. Well, if it hits, then we just load this for free anyway. Huh. Well, either way, we do want to convert the damage right now. If it doesn't hit, that's fine. It's not like that card was super strong in Arsenal. We just hope we don't whiff on drawing an attack. But that card also doesn't buff the Bolton shot, so maybe the Bolton would be dead if we left it in Arsenal, so I think we always play it, yeah. And they gave it to us. Okay. Well, let's just... might as well shoot it this way then. Keep the Bullseye for a rainy day. Gives us AB. Any link to the current build? Yeah, sure. I promise no results. I promise no results. This is all just heavy experimentation. Technically Ponder is live on the 2nd, but there's a bug on Talishar where it only triggers on the first attack. So, yeah, actually, Ponder should trigger on this hit if the first one was fully blocked. It just doesn't work that way on Talishar right now. At least it didn't last night. No! Not the ranger hands. Not like this. Oh, they attacked me. Oh, thank goodness. So we can do something. We don't get a draw if that all you got. These don't even trigger. So what can we really do? Yeah, actually, like, nothing. I mean, we can block the 3. Let's just, you know, get these out. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we probably do want to clear out toxicity just because either one of these traps is fine. I think this one's slightly better. If we keep it in, then it lets us not necessarily get stuck with the trap, but since we're not putting on any pressure, we can probably load one in pretty safely. Might as well use this as well. Stick some arrows back in our deck. We have the bullseye, so we definitely want the Bolton shot back. Actually, we don't really have a choice. It has to be 3 different names, to be fair. Okay. Well, this hand falls a little flat. We can force the go again on Bolton shot if we just start with bullseye bracers. So we could do that. Into pitch for give and take. Load virulent. That's not awful. Not awful. It's based around him actually attacking us, though, so we can get tar pit out. Which, maybe my opponent could just, like, stop attacking. Although I think with this deck, it has a better opportunity to close in a position where my opponent just stops attacking me. Because there's a lot of breakpoints, the deck goes wide. Yeah, so that's going to trigger here. That's going to trigger. They go to 1, and then this is coming in for 5. Then we could really just make this what we throw afterwards. So we can go ahead and get the block so they don't get the Mauvrion stuff here. Arsenal Virulent Touch. That seems fine. Okay. So we'll block here, here, and tar pit. They go to 1. We'll be coming in for 5 and 4. Arsenal Virulent. Any trap kills them at some point anyway. Okay. We do just eat this. Oops. We don't die, because this comes in for potentially 5. It's only 9. We'd go to 1. So we probably do want to get value out of the perch. Let's just make sure. We weren't going to block the arcane anyway, so this might just get thrown on the Rosetta. Don't want to go to 1, just in case once we break bullseye, we get put in a tricky spot. Yeah, so we'll stay at 3. Well, we could have force-ended the game if we had snaps. We'd be at 1, but I'd feel pretty okay with that, because we could just snaps go wide enough to win. Well, the reload won't come through. It's on hit death. On hit death. Come in for 4 again. Sure, might as well put that there. We need to be able to go tall, though. We might run into a hand that... Oh. Oh, they could only block 3. Oh, GG's. Okay, GG's opponent. Interesting, interesting. I'm not sure about this deck, but it is mega fun. Oops, wrong one. That's this one, Jack the Ripper. We never actually saw the... Oh, we did have one Codex turn, didn't we? Where we pitched a yellow, just to have the one floating to load in Death Touch and shoot it. I mean, there are some cool lines with this deck for sure. I think it's a Snaps deck, though. That was definitely the wrong call to bring in block. It needs the extra touch of Go again. And I'm not sure Give and Take is that good either. Pitching feels really weird. This was just an attempt to kind of go both routes in terms of like letting Tunic Resource just do something. I could either throw in a 1-for-3 buff, but this is a 1-for-3 and just has built-in Go again, and it's a 3-block, and it has an effect. So if you're going to add like a 1-for-3, I feel like this is just the better slot. I'm pretty sure. I think that just makes sense. Yeah, that deck was cool. I kind of want to run it back. Although it shouldn't be this weapon, should it? This weapon just makes no sense. It should be Death Dealer, right? It should be Death Dealer. And we're really not trying to load in arrows, but if we do, then we want the draw out of it. I think that makes sense. Yeah. What's chat saying? Promise of Plenty IMO? Which one is that again? Is that the, like, you fill your arsenal? If it hits, each hero who doesn't have a card in their arsenal puts the top card of their deck face down in their arsenal. If this itself was played from arsenal, it gains Go again. That seems promising. Haha. The only issue being, you could run into, like, a clogged arsenal, right? Like, if you're the aggressor and then you load in a trap, but your opponent's on the back foot, like, that just kind of kills your momentum. So I'm not sure about, like, blind loading like that. But that's only if it hits, right? So your opponent probably just blocks it. They probably block it. I think we'll keep it as is for now. Just change that to Death Dealer. That should feel fine. Oops, they are in game. If I play against an ice deck, it's probably another scoop. That's the issue, right? Like, I don't think there's a way to build Riptide where something isn't awful for you. Something is going to be awful for you in this wide-ass metagame we live in. This is probably also awful. Probably also awful. We get hit by Red in the Ledger, turn's just kind of over. Oh, they left, though. Oh, they probably expected more of a control Riptide. I get it, I get it. New Horizons could solve that. Well, no, how would you flip up the trap? Right? You'd only be able to flip up a arrow with, and you'd have to take the, oh no, Death Dealer loads it face up. So you just have an arrow sitting there. Yeah, New Horizons is probably better then. Just, like, make sure you have a threat sticking there. I need to try New Horizons more. For whatever reason, like, I just haven't ever played it. Like, I've never played Lexi, so I just don't really know. Hey, good luck. So I just don't really know what New Horizons feels like to run, but it probably is the right call. We're still going to go with this, though. Into Phi, let's take the That All You Got. What trap isn't super useful? There are some defense reactions. Oh, what the heck? Wait, there's 3 people in here. You see this? Michael and Azor? What is happening? Talishar. Excuse me. How did this happen, Talishar? Pendulum, yeah, doesn't make the cut. It shouldn't, at least. These are fine, though. Let's go second. We're the aggressor. Let's see it. The other bow can flip cards up, right? Yeah, it definitely can. That other bow did actually nothing. We never used it all game. So that definitely can't be the right bow. We're going to give Death Dealer a go. I'm almost feeling the one that can load from top of deck, though. Almost. Just because, like, your cards in hand are definitely playable. But then you could dig one further. Maybe. Maybe. What is it? Sandscour Great Bow, I think. But you need to have some Optifex going. Hey. And there aren't many. Let's go... Well, Azalea can dominate first turn. But then she can also always have an on-hit you care about second. We're still going to go first. And we're going to try Snaps. Even though the block is definitely better. Oh well. Talishar Riptide, no bow needed. Well, you could get stuck with yellows every now and again. You could. Your trap base is yellow. But, no, there's definitely some correct bow to choose. Even if it ends up just being Dreadbore for, like, that static effect of no defense reactions. But this deck could also just be hot garbage. It could be trash. What's the point of playing? Sideboarding 1 second. All good, opponent. New Horizon plus Trench seems good. That or the new bow. You can play a non-attack, reload from hand, triggering Riptide, put a card in, and then turn it face up before reload resolves. Just need go again. Wait, before it resolves, what's the trick there? You could play a non-attack, reload from hand, triggering Riptide, put a card in, then turn it face up before reload resolves. Oh, a card that says reload on it. So like the take aim. I see what you're saying. I think. How are you turning it face up before the reload resolves? Are you paying for the bow? Huh. Okay. Let's get it going. We have a little bit of go again. But we'd go without Arsenal if we really play this whole hand. I'm kind of down, though. They might just slap us with inertia anyway. So we can start with Lace, just so that Give and Take actually puts it back on top of the deck, which is cute. It doesn't apply yet, but we could definitely do that. Yep, let's do it. Does Arsenal... Oh yeah, we have to put the bow in or the arrow in Arsenal, but we could also do it on the Give and Take. So yeah, we want to shoot Endless because if it hits, then we get a free Arsenal out of it. Yeah. Give and Take, baby. 1 for 3 all day. Hello from upstate New York to you in Belgium. Yeah, there's many reasons why this doesn't work. Yeah, it has to be an arrow. Wait, it has to be an arrow? Is that how New Horizons works? You have to have a... New Horizon. If you have a face-up card in your arsenal, you have an additional arsenal zone. So that doesn't specify arrow. And reload also doesn't have to be arrow. Reload just goes face down. Okay, so they blocked it, so we can put this back on top. Wait, they didn't block it, though. What just happened? I tabbed out, now I'm confused. They didn't block it, so why was I able to put that back? No idea. Sorry, opponent. I don't know what that was. You didn't block, right? Let's undo that then. I don't want to put that back in deck if it's not supposed to be. Yeah, so I still played this first. Put that there. Yeah, I don't want to put that back on top. Shouldn't have... Yeah, so this doesn't go back. Okay, that's correct. Now we shoot this. Okay, so we got a free 3 damage off. Just because recycling this is scary. Which I get. It is. I could see this kind of build falling back on like a little bit of a higher blue core and running like Wounded Bull, you know? Where, I mean, you'd run probably like Heart of Findle. You've got like another 6 blues, I think, in the deck anyway. So like maybe you could kind of use that on your in-between turns just to have good value and do something with the fact that you start at 38. I don't know. Deck could go a lot of ways. Is Sandscour any good? I'm almost considering it in this deck with the ability to opt a bit more wherever that could get fit in. I mean, right now it's just like Scout the Battlescape. But you could off Tunic, like load in a arrow off the top, and it's always going to be a 0 cost in this deck. Like maybe that works out, you know, once per game, and like cool, you got a free 4 damage out of your bow. I could see that. But then again, Death Dealer in a similar fashion is just going to get you a new card in Arsenal. And you should be pretty happy with whatever you arsenal in this deck. So even if you only actually Death Dealer like once or twice per game, that's also high value. We'll keep trying. Don't know. Man Sant good at Riptide. I don't know. I mean, so far we're 2-0. Oh, I do need to update that. I mean, this might just be another thing where like I played Rock as soon as it was announced and was like, you know, 8-0 with Rock, but that deck is actually garbage. Like for the love of God, don't touch that deck. But somehow, it just happens where people in Talishar are just like playing their own brews and things line up well for me. But if we are 2-0, the only other stats I have for Riptide right now is that I was 4-1 with the control version. So if we add that all, or I feel like one result was missing. We'll call it 3-1 though. So 5-1 with Riptide right now in total. The control games were just so boring that I didn't. All right, so that doesn't actually work how my opponent thinks it does. I can just block with anything and it goes away. So we'll just block with this and a trap, and that'll feel pretty good. Yeah, I don't think Widowmaker is more than just a limited card. Oh, oops, defense reactions. Oops, sorry, undo. Oops, might be. Retry that. No defense reactions can get played. So we'll just block with like toxicity. It's fine. All right. Give him this. I mean, our turn is just Lace into Bolt. Arsenal Boulder. That's fine. We do take 5 out of it, but there's no sticky hit effect. Here we go. 2-card 7. Although my opponent should be a little bit more scared of it than just a 2-card 7, because in theory, I could load in like a Virulent Touch here. That could be cool. You can't de-react Widowmaker. Yeah, we found that out the hard way. That's annoying now. Okay, I'll admit. That is annoying. The other part of the card is not annoying. Because it says if it's defended by fewer than 2 cards, it has +3. It's not the same as Barraging Beatdown. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's Barraging Beatdown for Rangers. So good, so good. But Barraging Beatdown says action cards. Or like, you know, real cards of some sense. Widowmaker, you could, in theory, just like chump, snap, and bullseye. And it just goes back to 4. You know? That was one of the reasons why I was running Skullcap in that other version of Riptide, is because he didn't have any... Otherwise, there was no piece that didn't break. Ooh, opponent. Am I going to bubble trap you? Or boulder trap? No. I'll wait. Oh, come on. Why can't we have Death Touch? Maybe yellow Death Touch is actually worth it as well. That could be a definite add here. It's so good. And a 1-for-5 in yellow, I mean, hey, that's... We're in Ranger. You know, 5 attack is a good deal. Man. Alright, they don't really play reactions either, though, so this as a blue isn't great. Our turn is just Scar, Arsenal, take aim, basically. But we still want to block 6. That might not line up well. Huh. Yeah, I mean, there's Intimidate and Barraging Beatdown, but Widowmaker has the no defense reactions, which I didn't even notice, but that's kind of like the trade there. Give a look to the Redliner bow. The Redliner bow, I feel like probably never works out. Unless your hand is like, you know, a 1-card drill shot. Like 1-card endless arrow. Then it makes sense. So like maybe opening up those playlines is fine. But you don't want to be in that position, right? Like, you don't want that to be your 1-card hand. Ooh, okay, so take aim. Ugh, we don't want this to hit then, because we'll lose take aim. So we could even get aggressive with Crown and just, like, hope. Hope we draw something live. Here comes their own take aim. Yeah, but are you take aiming death touches? I don't think so. Defense reactions can't be played from Arsenal to Remorseless's Chain Link. Well, that's annoying. Very annoying. How many eggs do we put in this basket, though? I almost want to just, like, block with Spike Pit Trap and Crown. Crown out the Boulder Trap. And then see where the hand goes. We might eat some to Remorseless. But we would see the Crown first. It's 14 damage. Seems pretty good. I don't want Take Aim to just do 2 block here. But there are so many draws where it just does nothing.
Wow.
And even worse than that,
Keep it up. Proud
we could draw like a trap and then our hand is super inefficient. I'm gonna kind of YOLO it a bit, because at least we could pay for Lace. Like at worst case with the extra cards. This feels very wrong. Oh, God. Not like this. Not like this. It's just like our best card just going to the dumps. Rough. Well, at least let this block 3, I guess. And then instead of losing the take aims, we could Tunic, use the take aims to pay into Quiver. And shuffle back Endless and Bolton. Jesus Christ. Very bad stuff. Yeah. Gonna be tough for us, indeed. I guess we could also pay into the Blood Rot. Can't we stack how that works? This says at the beginning of their next end phase. This says at the beginning of your end phase. Okay, so we can actually just pay into the Blood Rot with the take aims and the Tunic. Yeah, I don't want to waste Quiver here then. Oof. So rough. Have I considered Art of War? I have not. I could see that though. That could force some go again. I could totally see that. Force some go again on an ideal turn, played off Tunic even, and then just go nuts with your 0-cost hand. I'm jealous of people like you that can make these builds. I look at the card list and my brain just shuts down. Well, think about it this way, right? Like, I've played Levia for pretty much 2 years now, and I have done every single thing possible with Levia that you could ever conceive of, and a lot of that translates to at least getting started with other heroes, because I've tried every single kind of cost curve with Levia. I've tried, keep her cheap, built around, like Razor Reflex even, built around, like, using a blue efficiently every time, using, like a pivot type of strat where your early game works one way very defensively into aggression early game. Like, I've tried everything with Levia. And so the fundamentals are at least there to start exploring other heroes with at least a baseline understanding of like what comprises like a good turn, like what's a good hand look like, what's a good rate look like. Levia is a hero that actually teaches you those things really well because it's so black and white. Like, are you getting 4 to 5 value out of a card in Levia? Then good. I mean, then like Blood Debt starts to seem fair because you're doing something dumb with your hand. Like, getting 4 to 5 per card is nuts. Not every other hero can do that even a little bit. So you start to just chase like those kinds of efficiencies with every deck you play, and you can start cutting cards that just like start to become obviously bad, or synergies that just are not worth forcing, which is definitely a problem with Levia. Is like you can force things all you want, but at the end of the day, if your deck's inconsistent, you actually lose. So being cute isn't worth it. And all that kind of boils into being able to make probably not very good first drafts of decks, but decks that at least function to some capacity. Hey man, Sant. I'm the Talishar Lexi that shared your deck list last year. You tried it on stream. Brewing Talishar Riptide soon. You seeing any opportunities of no arrow Riptide? Hello, first of all. Talishar Lexi that I shared. Oh, yeah, Talishar is in the weapon Talishar. I remember that now. Yeah, that was some spice. We definitely didn't win that game. And I definitely don't think you should play that version of Lexi with all the new Ranger cards. Does this do anything on hit? It does not. It's just a 2-card go again? That seems questionable. Our hand, very rough. We could kind of zero them out by doing this. I don't hate that, but the problem is they could Tunic to pay for Pitfall, and that feels pretty bad. But Azalea doesn't actually get go again that often, so I think we definitely at least Collapsing Trap. So maybe it's Block with Toxicity, Collapsing Trap, and then all I do is throw Scar, Arsenal, Pitfall. I think I'm down for that. As far as no arrow Riptide, I mean, this is like pretty close to no arrow Riptide. It's trying to be like Cheerios Briar, but with Riptide. There are 0 for 4 arrows, you know, might as well run them. And let's put this here just in case there is an attack. What do you mean does nothing? They discard their hand, draw 0. It does something. Yeah. Alright, so I don't really want to play the Pitfall. There's no reason. They could Tunic for it here. So I'll wait until next turn, where their pitch is a little more obvious. And we'll just throw 4. If they do spend this to shoot like a 1-cost arrow, though, then like, cool. We get 6 value out of a Pitfall Trap. That'd be pretty nuts. Oh, something. I see what you're saying. Oh! Oh my god. Are you serious, though? Wait, that was blind. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. They put it on top with Seek Horizon. Oh, that's the synergy. I see, I see. Okay, well now Pitfall doesn't do anything. God. Not like I could play around that, though. I can't play it from hand. Oh, it's so annoying. Wait, no, it was blind because... Wait, no, it wasn't. Because collapsing doesn't mill, it just takes from hand, and then he drew nothing. So it didn't affect the top card on the deck. Funny enough, if they had 2 cards in hand, it would have. Ah. Lame. Lame, lame, lame. Lame, lame, lame. Well, I feel much worse about how it's going now. Where's our Death Touch? Like, I feel like if we can get off our plays like Death Touch, the deck is nuts. Like, give me Tunic up with a Death Touch and take aim, you know? Or like a Nimblism, something. Let me 2-card Death Touch 9. That's disgusting. Okay, I mean, our hand defends fine here, and then still comes in with Endless. That's pumped up pretty high. Could work out. Could work out. Let's see. Add yellows after the match. Add yellow Death Touches. Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. I would definitely add yellow Death Touch. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. It's got to fit in somewhere. Like, the Death Touch is kind of the nuts card. That's the payoff card for doing the rest of the deck, for building it this kind of way. Maybe it's give up blue toxicity. Like, what's the point of this card? We don't really need a blue. So it's probably just swap this for Death Touch. Like, the point is that it's basically a 0 for 3, but in the blue. That's pretty good, though. It's a 0 for 3 in the blue slot. Now, you probably do keep that. I don't know. We'll toy with it. Thanks for the Blood Rot, good sir. Premeditate Death Touch, even better. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can do. Yeah, actually, Take Aim is not even that impressive with Death Touch anymore because Riptide just lets you load it. Like, back when Death Touch was first spoiled, like, that was the cool feature. Is like, oh my god, you can reload Death Touch and then shoot it off Tunic, 2-card 9 with an on-hit. But actually, Riptide just will load it regardless. So, yeah, Take Aim is really not that impressive, is it? You still run it. It's a 0 for 3, right? Okay. So, actually, we play Pitfall, we play Tar Pit, and then it loads the Endless Arrow in that sequence, so we don't actually need the Riptide ability. Problem is they pay 1 into Pitfall now, and Tar Pit doesn't trigger. So annoying. So annoying. I mean, we still do it, obviously. They always gotta have perfect pitch. Always gotta have it. I mean, what a difference. Like, if they didn't have that 1 floating, then this deals 3 damage. That is just nuts. We can still draw into it. Like, I think we can stabilize throwing this Endless Arrow, hopefully, into maybe, like, you know, a buff Death Touch type of hand next turn. I would very much appreciate that. We'll have the Ponders going. With double Ponder, we could even draw a blue, turn off Blood Rot, arsenal the next card. I could see it. Okay, let's get these going. Premeditates. This is a lot of on hits. Although they probably let it hit because at that point, like, you know, what does the Ponder really do for me? I guess I would then snaps Bullseye. Like, why not? Right? They're just giving me the opportunity for 5 damage. And then that does present lethal. Yeah, so that's not bad. That's definitely a good line. Oh, shit. Double Ponder run. Og. Actually relevant. Could draw blue for Pox, then Arsenal. 10 is a lot. It's not as good as a 14 damage Remorseless. When my return hand is like do nothing with 3 cards. Yeah, that was rough. If that turn was like a Death Touch type of turn, right? Imagine how different that is. That's like an 8 damage swing. Not even an 8 damage swing. That's a 9, potentially 9 to 11 damage difference. If just one of those cards was a Death Touch. Unfortunate. Because instead of pitching 2 Take Aim and Tunic just to pay for Blood Rot, it just would have been Take Aim, load Death Touch, Tunic, pay for it. And then that's 9 to 11 damage difference on that. God, I love that card. Yeah, the yellow needs to go in. Yellow needs to be in, for sure, for sure. Maybe even the blue. That's a lot of 2 blocks, but we are an aggro deck at the end of the day. Ooh, they're respecting us. I really appreciate this, actually. I needed some room here. Oh, so this does force the Blood Rot. Yeah. Does force the Blood Rot through. So now Death Dealer is actually useful. Yeah, now it actually comes up. Because we do get the draw off here. We're going to pay for Give and Take into low Drill Shot. Interesting. Huh. Neither one of these trigger. We could go ahead block 3, but if the... So that way if the card we draw is dead, then we get to arsenal it, but if the card we draw is live, then we're playing it out and we actually do want one of the traps in arsenal. I think the game's getting a little too tight for me to just like hope it's a live card, so I will block. I'll block 3. No need to trigger Riptide. This is going to put the -1 on Findles, which is a little rough, but, you know, it's fine. You do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Oh, nope, we're not going to put that in Arsenal. Ideally, right, like, we haven't actually seen a Death Touch. And if they let this, if they block this, then we can control what goes on there. We just actually haven't seen the Death Touch. Which is so sad. For the love of God, that's all I want in this world. No, so they didn't actually block, so we should pass on this. That's just bugged. Snatch! Okay, not bad. Not bad. We definitely snaps. Yeah, is there any real difference in going... No, yeah, it's all actually the same. We'll go drill shot, snaps, snatch. That doesn't present lethal. It's like the one problem with this. Doesn't present lethal. But perhaps we get him low enough that traps can start to win the game, right? That's the dream. Oh, wait, it did matter. It should have been snatch first. Just in case that was a buff card, I could throw it on the drill shot to show lethal. Ooh, yeah. That actually did matter. That's a big mistake. That's fine. Watch, it's going to be a pump 3. It's going to be a pump 3 here. Dang it. Dang it, Ethan. Dang it. Was their last turn non-functional, or they just respected it? Let's see. It was Endless, Fletch, Drill Shot. Oh, Drill Shot was an Arsenal. Red, Sleep, Fletch, Endless. Yes, that turn actually wasn't that great out of them anyway. That's unfortunate. The turn that they decided to full block was actually not a big deal on their end anyway. It's not like they could have gone tall. They weren't choosing between like a dominate play. Okay, it's a trap. That actually just buys us life, right? So that's fine in Arsenal. One that's probably relevant, and then we can minus the Skullbone. Okay, I'll take it. Ooh. Now we're getting into some spicy territory. Spicy, spicy. The unfortunate part is this hand only blocks 4. Because we definitely want to show lethal, so we'll Nimbleism into Codex. So yeah, only blocks 4. Once again, if we had Death Touch, right? Look how good this is. Oh, I like this game, though. This game's been fun. I think this deck could be real, couldn't it? Like, it's almost real. It's almost real. Maybe it's just missing, like, a little bit more pressure cards. Like, you know, maybe we drop that blue count to add the yellow Death Touch, but then we also add Ravenous somewhere, because the blues are light. I just don't think you beat that many things. It just is a fun deck. Like, it's an armory deck at that point, right? Which is still cool. Uh-oh. Red in the Ledger actually really screws most of this play. And, of course, they go tall with it. Of course. Of course they do. And they go really tall with it. Oh, this is lovely. This is fantastic. We enjoy this very much. The worst part is we actually can't even load Would loading even do anything? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Okay, well that's 11. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We full block it. I think it is worth doing that. We give up a ton. But the reality is that puts them at 2 because this trap does trigger. And I think that's like a big enough deal. Right? Like keeping one of those cards does nothing. I think we do like our spot. It looks a little rough. In fact, maybe I do respect... Ooh, I actually think I should have kept a Codex. Right? I probably should have kept one of those in Arsenal. Just that our next turn could also be block 4, play Codex out. Ooh, that's a mistake. Oh well. Oh well. We played it. We played it that way. It's fine. Hopefully our life does something for us then. Any chance to see the list? Yeah, here it is. I would change it though. I would definitely change it. This is good though. We get to take away his armor as well. I think we can win through traps realistically. Like, there's going to be so many scenarios where Pitfall wins the game. Like, that is coming up. That is definitely coming up. We've only played the one Pitfall. And they can't just sit on Tunic forever. You know, they're going to go for the turn that's like, you know, like a super light hand where Tunic's forced and then we just kill through Pitfall. Can we survive this, though? That's the question, right? Like... We're giving him so much room. And this turn doesn't even have a trap in it, so... Yeah, we probably just die to dominate. Unfortunate. Not like this. Not like this. Well, if we were going to die to dominate, then, like, that is what it is. I still think, so in a way, actually buying us that life by blocking with Codex was a little bit better. But if we're not going to die from Dominate, then we should have had the Codex here so we can full block 4 and still do something. I just can't believe that Tunic has done nothing all game. Like, we actually just have seen nothing to use it on. That's crazy. That's just bad deck building. There's too many... there's a lack of at least one cost count, and I think it's that yellow Death Touch. Ugh. This is awful. Here comes a dominated Bolton shot. So at least we'll get to use the rest of our hand for something. We take 4, they reload. Hopefully this saves us. I highly doubt it. Highly, highly doubt it. Oh, we were so close. The one time we did play, whatchamacallit, this Pitfall trap, they had one floating. They had one floating on that exact turn. And that wasn't even planned, like, it just was there. Oh man, that was a 3 damage difference. Man, what a tight game. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Oh, we died to Blood Rot anyway. Well, we don't die from it, but that's another consideration, right? Which we don't have a blue to keep for. Dang, man, dang. Give and Take is an interesting card. It's just because it's a 1 for 3. Right, like, if you're gonna start dipping into the non-0 for 3s and start running 1 for 3s, that one at least blocks 3. It's got flexibility because it can threaten to put something on top as well. It seems okay. It definitely is a card that could get cut, though. But then again, it's not the 1 cost that are running us into problems. It's actually the lack of 1 cost. So I don't think this card gets cut. It might even be something like Toxicity, because that specifies Ranger or Assassin. No, that does apply to a lot. I mean, there's only so many generics. It's like Scar, Snatch, and Give. I'll have to look at the list again. It's close. It's close. Do we not die here? Oh my god, we don't. We can pay for Tunic plus that for the Blood Rot. Oh wow, game's not over. Oh wow, let's do it. All right, so in this scenario, the fact that I blocked with Codex is screwing me. Okay, never mind. Well, this is rough. Yeah, they're gonna load with Bullseye. All right. It's looking bad. It's looking bad. It's looking real bad still. Never mind. Because that's likely going to be a 3-attack arrow. And then this will block 3. I take 2, go to 3. Oh, I could live. I could live. I probably do live then. Interesting. Oh, but it gets +1. It gets +1. Oh my god, and it's another Blood Rot freaking thing on hit. Oh, we were so close. If this actually wasn't a Blood Rot on hit, then we survive. We survive at 1. And then it's really just like that trap endgame. Oh, close. GG's opponent. GG's. Oh no, we would die. We wouldn't be alive at 1. Yeah, oh well. GG's. Alright, well, I can't escape Blood Debt, I guess. It's always getting me. Here we go. I want this one to resolve first. There we go. Riptide seems interesting. This version of Riptide is very spicy, I agree. Yeah, plenty of ways to try him for sure. Alright, let's look at the list real quick. Death Touch, yellow. That's definitely got to find its way in. In terms of the weak cards in the list, Pendulum is pretty weak. I think this just like doesn't fit in with the playstyle, right? It's something I was citing out anyway, but not enough decks run reactions that I think this one really makes sense. Plus our win con isn't to mill. So I think we can drop that, and then we're only running these 6 blues anyway, so I don't really want to touch that. I think that already looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. These are being brought in for dash, of course. These are fine. These are fine. Battering Bolt, why is it here? Battering Bolt is in here really to just be like a 2-card 6. Yeah, actually, this doesn't make much sense. I guess it's also a popper. But it's a sideboard slot. Not going to worry about that right now.
Wow.
I think that's a big enough change to really make an impact, honestly. Just the addition of this. I want to try one more game. It's already way later than it was supposed to be. I do need to get back to work, but I do want to try this just one more time. Against a good matchup. If it's a trash matchup, we'll probably just scoop and might just sign off, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think Riptide has so many bad matchups that it's not worth trying to cover them all half-heartedly. Like, Dromai is just so bad you probably lose. The reason to worry about even having a popper in this kind of list is you are very aggressive. So if you're going to beat Dromai, it'll actually be because you're racing well. And to race, you want at least one playset of poppers in there. Oh, this is fine. Hey, good luck. I'll try this game. You want at least like one playset of poppers if you're trying to go for the race game plan. I think with most versions of Riptide, just give up on the Dromai matchup. Just like, please give up. It is so bad. But for this version, I want to at least be able to trade with them. Okay, so it's against Rhinar. I want to be able to just say no blocks at all times against Rhinar. So I think I just don't touch the list. It's probably fine as is, and we just go for the straight race. Maybe running that other quiver does something then, because if it's just a straight race, what is this really doing? That's interesting. Let's start. Giga Chad. That's funny. I think that's... Is that Sloop Dupes? Patreon? Well, it's not cooler than Legal of Aya, so... Is Rabble better than that blue card? I could see that, right? Because this is like a conditional 3. This is a conditional 3, but it's really in there to get the reload off. So if you just run Rabble, then that's 4, and you get the reload off. So yeah, actually, that just makes sense. This should swap. This should be Rabble. Because you don't have that many blues, you literally have the 3. And then your yellow base is also relatively light. So yeah, that should be Rabble. You're right. That's like a minor damage change, but it's worth it, right? It is just worth it. What's toxicity for? I feel like without it, Ravenous Rabble is... Oh yeah, that's the same question. Toxicity is just because in the blue slot, it's a 0 cost for 3, if it hits. But Rabble then becomes a 0 for 4 more likely, with still the reload text. So yeah, that's just a swap that makes sense. Let's go ahead, Daddy Riptide. Let's go ahead and give up a Bolton shot so that our turn still goes wide with give and take into load Bolton, and then maybe hits and plays like a 4 cost out again from Arsenal. We're lucky to not just get absolutely smacked with a bunch of damage, so. I think I want to lead with Death Dealer, right? Just in case the turn changes. Yeah, just in case the turn changes. I think I want the Bolton shot. Or I want to load the Bolton shot right now. Buzzsaw Trap. That doesn't really do anything. Oh, you know what? No, I shouldn't have loaded first, right? Because give and take could threaten putting the Bolton shot on top. I don't know if that's really useful. Yeah, I don't know if that's really useful, though, to be fair. But we had the resource to work for the Bolton shot, because we were going to pitch for give and take anyway. We could play Codex just to do something with the Bolton shots go again. That's kind of funny, right? Yeah, almost like why not, because we get a Ponder anyway. We lose this, which is not super useful in this matchup anyway, I think. Oh, that doesn't have go again. It doesn't have, its base isn't any higher. Nah, rip. Alright, yeah, turned kind of whack. But we couldn't help it. We drew some weird cards for this situation. We definitely just Arsenal Codex and move on, though. No biggie. You were trying the Rustling Leaves Quiver. So, in theory, you could turn a blue into an arrow off the top. I'm not sure that's really better than the slot here. I feel like if you have the blue, you might as well just toss 3 red arrows back in your deck. Oh, he blocked it. I don't agree with that, but I'll take it. Alright, Codex of Frailty, actually a bit of a toughie in this situation. Yeah, actually a bit weird to have Codex and Frailty in Arsenal right now. Because we want it open for a Virulent load, so I guess that means we could just block with everything. Go Nimblism. Oh, it's a double barraging. Is it even a triple barraging? What's happening? And a Blood Rush. Ooh, boy. So it should have been the trap in Arsenal, actually. That's funny. Should have put the trap in Arsenal. Actually, that always makes more sense, right? If I put the trap in Arsenal, then a 1-card hand Frailty is still the same. Because it's going to load the Arsenal anyway. Yeah, so misplay. That should have just always been an Arsenal. Oof, we're going to eat a lot of damage for that. A lot of damage for that. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. This hand is also not very scary. I guess what Codex does for this hand is it lets us bring in Bolton Shot, and then we play Nimblism so the Bolton Shot has go again into like snatch, load the virulent, snaps it. Yeah, so like I guess we can force the hand to be playable. God, I wish I arsenaled the Buzzsaw more than anything. This is real rough. Eating a lot of damage. Why not just play Frailty last turn? Because there was no go again on the Bolton shot. So the Bolton shot was the end of the turn. Yeah, so we take the Bolton now. We'll discard the Buzzsaw. Nimblism. Bolton. I mean, we're super far behind from my own mistake there. So, not looking great. I think we will force this turn with snaps, because we have the Ponder anyway, so we don't want to keep a card in hand. And they sink. That's fine. We still play the Snatch from hand, load Virulent. Oh boy. What are you discarding the Frailty? The blue. Yeah, there's nothing to do with that blue. That poor trap. That should have been an arsenal last turn. Alright. Let's draw a buff card, shall we? Please. Yikes. Yikes. So we waste the Ponder, basically. Unfortunate. And our Tunic wasn't even up. Man, this all just feels so thrown, though. Like, this Buzzsaw would have protected an extra 7 life. Well, not even 10 life, because I would have actually blocked with it as well. Oh, God. 10 life difference because of a bad arsenal. At least the give and take will be live with the Tunic here. Oh, but we've got Death Touch, which we'd rather play with Tunic. So we can block with this and Tarp it. And our turn's still fine. That's not bad then. Rolled a 6. Luckily the Frailty is hopefully useful here. Not getting good value. Lace with Bloodrot also actually doesn't do anything. Oh, that's true, because none of these are arrows. So Lace is going to fall a little flat. How do we get that out of Arsenal? I guess we crown it away. Yeesh. Yeah, I mean, it does not fit with our turn, though. So we do have to get rid of it. Snatch. That's useless. Our hand lacks go again. Oh, God. Into swing big. Okay, well, there's the potential for go again. This hand just doesn't block well at all, though. It would have been keep crown up, block here, here, crown. Oh, it actually would have been so juicy if I could block the 8 here. Here, here, crown. My turn, play snatch with go again. Arsenal death touch off of it. Unfortunate. Okay, so how do we save this turn at all? I guess we don't have to use Tunic, and we can just go give and take, pitch Frailty for give and take into Death Touch. Arsenal the Snatch. Block with Tar Pit right here. No, but then I want Frailty in Arsenal, actually, because I'll have the Tunic up to potentially, oops, potentially just go, sorry. Potentially just go Tunic, Frailty for Death Touch right then and there. So I do prefer this in Arsenal. So the turn is just block with Snatch? Jesus Christ. That is so bad. I guess I could also block with everything, throw snatch. Oh, wait. Hold up. I'm not... Yeah, wait. This is good. I can just block 8, still get the quicken. What am I doing? Oh, this works. Yeah, this works fine. Oh my god. How did I not see this for the first time? I can block 8, get the quicken here. And then go snatch quicken into death touch. Yeah, that's totally fine. That is totally fine. Jesus, brain. Jesus, brain. How are you so bad at playing this game? Oh god. Am I having fun? Yeah, this deck is fun. I don't know if it's good. Probably like hard no. But it is fun. Alright, yellow death touch. Definitely better than having a trap there, that's for sure. I just can't believe I threw 10 life like that. Literally threw 10 life. Ugh. Rough. Because now we're pretty much at the spot where like one more Blood Rush turn does just end the game for him. One more Blood Rush is like 18 damage. We're hoping to just draw some pretty spicy aggro hands back to back to really put pressure. This does that kind of decently. Yeah, it means we eat 6 though. But the hand is playable. Sure. I'll eat 6. Oh, jeez. Next draw is Nimblism. That's, I mean, fine. They show me Pack Hunt. Okay. That's better than seeing a Blood Rush. 12 damage Death Touch. Come on. Do work for me. Claw me back into this game somehow, please. I don't see it. Actually, gotta update the win-loss anyway. We're 2-1. We're probably gonna end the stream 2-2. Okay, well now there's a choice. With a 2-card hand, they probably still throw like 6. But if they try to just go Claw into Arsenal, they probably would have just blocked instead of the Claw. So it always is Blood Rot then. Inertia, in some cases, might have been a better read, but for this specifically, no. Let's just do damage. Yeah, so this is the other possibility, right? They're holding that for this kind of scenario, where they pay for Blood Rot, Arsenal like a Blood Rush here. If I'd chosen Inertia, different story. Alright. We've got some decent cards to play, though. Let's try to make these weird to block. 7 and 7. So I get that Ponder draw. Although I think it's still broken, where I wouldn't get Ponder on the second attack because of Talishar bugs. But that's okay. We got the Ponder off. Wow, I mean, the damage is coming together. I'm just terrified that this is literally Blood Rush. Like, this right here is Blood Rush, and they're going to use Tunic. And their turn will be 18 damage, and my equipment doesn't block for Jack. And we didn't get a D-React in Arsenal. Yep, there's the Blood Rush. Should have been Inertia. Into Barraging. Into double Blood Rush. Alright, well, I wasn't going to win this game anyway, then. If it was really going to be like this. Holy freaking moly. Well, I mean, if there isn't an Intimidate on this next swing, I at least save a lot of damage, but, I mean... I still likely just kind of explode and die. I mean, these aren't attacks. I'm losing my one way to get an attack here because of the Intimidate. Yeah, game is very over. What's up, Jotrick? In chat. Look at that, long-time League of Levi member. How many months is that? You've got that badge. They swing for 10. Oh no, 8. And we unfortunately have to eat it and then do nothing with our turn. Jeez. The one bit of faith I have is that now that all 3 blood rushes are gone, Wait. Oh, no. That was only a singular blood rush. Hold up a second. The reason it popped up was because of the Intimidate trigger. Okay. Yeah, so it's not like 3 actually resolved. It was just resolving the discard and then the Intimidate. Okay, so we still just die then. I was going to say, if they actually played all 3 blood rush, then maybe we can just kind of start trading better with them. You know, their cards start becoming worth 3 each, and our cards are worth 4 each. But no, we do just lose. We do just lose now. Let's get these cards out of hand, because they don't block very well. So let's do this. Okay. 3 months, nice. Happy to catch the stream. You've struggled. You're watching VODs. Well, that's alright. Give you a pass. It's nice to have you in person, though. Alright, so they rolled a 3 and then a 6. Let's see on this one. It was a 1. Okay, so if they roll a 1 into a 1, we're live, baby. It's brute gaming time. They roll a 1 into a 1. They give us the window. Nope, they roll a 5. Alright. Game slipped away. But there was a moment. Almost a Levia moment. A man did a marathon job casting Charlotte. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, I think I got 1 round off, but then of course the 1 round that I took a break is when everything crashed. Computer blew up, camera blew up, internet blew up. Literally, the round I step away from the computer too. I give Fabric and the card guys round 8. I'm like, here you go. Cast it, enjoy it, have a great time. And then, nope, it all crashed. That is why I cannot leave anything alone when it comes to that damn stream. Well, I'm like super dead. I mean, they hit on Scabs. Savage Feast is like the best card to hit next to Scabs. So let's just eat some shit. It's still my bad though. We should have 10 extra life here. We should legitimately have 10 extra life. I just didn't arsenal a defense reaction on turn 1. I didn't arsenal a defense reaction turn 1, and then we got triple intimed. If I just arsenal the defense reaction. I actually want to see if they want to rematch. I'm a little upset about that turn 1 misplay. Because then that just like sets the tone for the rest of the game. You just start looking at your life. You're like, man, I should be 10 life higher. I should be 10 life higher. It's my fault that I should be 10 life higher. So let's try to fix that, shall we? Let's try to fix that. We'll play one more. I can't end 2-2. There's so much more hype than this. Is it worth swapping one of these then for sinks? This one's still fine against Blood Rush. This one's still fine against Blood Rush. Is Blood Rush that likely to really let me keep these in hand, though? No. So...
Wow, Ethan, great moves.
If the deck isn't kind of like that cheetah build, it didn't look like it was, then it's more likely this comes up than the go again comes up. And there's no hit effects to block anyway, so let's make at least that change. And this time I'll go first. I think I went first last time anyway. I just want to say thank you for the content at every SCGCon. I read every week MTG players complaining about the lack of content. Keep it up. Thanks, Dylan. Well, it's not just me. There is an MTG guy doing like very similar things for them, for like the SCGCon circuit, Anurag Das, and he's awesome. I've learned a lot from him. He's super friendly, and he cares more about like the streamer space being healthy than just like MTG over fab type of deal. You know, he's a super friendly guy, shares a lot of knowledge, and we see each other at every SCGCon because he does the Magic side of it. Now his build, his rig is definitely like 10 grand more than mine is. I would love to just like copy paste what he's doing. But we're working on a way smaller budget, and believe it or not, like our Our product is like very comparable, which is cool. Which is cool. Maybe Lace is a little weak. We only have 9 arrows. Funny enough, only have 9 arrows. Not going to make mistake of not arsenaling this. So then maybe I just throw the Snatch. It's a breakpoint. Maybe I just clear both of these out, though. This is kind of what I prefer to get in Graveyard. So if I care about this in Graveyard, then actually I should just throw it right now. Oh, I should definitely throw this right now because they want to block it. So forget getting value. Let's just throw this guy for 4. It's also one of our stronger Codex targets. So let's just make it happen. They don't... Okay, they do block it. So they do get a blood rot pox as well. Not bad. And now we arsenal our freaking trap. And let's not screw it up this time. Let's not screw it up. Oh, I didn't change the Ravenous Rabble. Oh, it should... We definitely should have added Rabble as well. They rolled a 3. Okay, nice. Yeah, Lace does seem super weak. You gotta remember, you also have Codex, though. Right? So it's not a real 9, it's like a toolboxy 12. And it's just 3 cards. It is just 3 cards. Because it's a 0 for 3, but then also providing the Blood Rot on hit. So in a way, 0 for 5. 3 of might be too much then. Maybe like go down to 2, and that feels better. Okay, so their turn is literally just this. Well, that sucks. We can't really do much. We really can't do much with this hand. It doesn't go wide. The most damage we could do is, I guess, just scout into Snatch. So we don't have to play at the Buzzsaw if that's what we're going to do. So we can block with Drill Shot and just make that our play. And still maybe scare him with Snaps a little bit. I think that's fine. Okay, they blocked with a Fate Foreseen as well. So that's 2 Fates gone, basically. Scar for Scar. Okay, cool. So our hand will be wide next turn. Our hand will be wide. Oh, shoot. Wait. Oh, no. That only applies if I play it from Arsenal. God. I didn't read that part of the freaking text. It has to be from Arsenal itself. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What is it with, like, literal turn 2 misplays in this matchup? Just gotta freaking read, man. Oh, Lord. That's rough. That's rough. That super sucks. But at least we have this play, if we wanted it. This play into Arsenal Codex seems pretty good. Just, you know, let us block with Bolton, please, to turn off this... Okay, so it's barraging into Blood Rush. And they banished the Bolton shot. Wonderful. Okay, well... Okay! Well, there goes my freaking trap in Arsenal. What was the whole point? What was the whole point if you're just going to quad into him? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. At least the good news is it does even it out, so I shouldn't complain, right? Doesn't it reset to 6? It does reset to 6, right? I'm not crazy. Yes. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It does reset to 6. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's actually fine. I take it all back. I take it all back. That's actually fine. Holy mother. Holy, that's just crazy, though. I almost want to just bullseye right now. Get the Bolton shot in with go again. Just because otherwise we don't do much with this hand, and it is a race, right? So it's just like Scar into bullseye, Bolton shot, Death Touch. Actually, no, that doesn't work because... Yeah, wait, that doesn't work because the Bolton shot shooting from Arsenal doesn't let us load Death Touch. So if we really want to do it, we go bullseye now, Bolton shot, shoot, but then they could take the damage, and then Scar for Scar isn't live. Well, it's actually kind of a really rough hand to use then. That's really rough. Really rough. I'm inclined then to try, like if I go Death Dealer, pitch, load Bolton, Bolton shoot 4. If they take it, once again, we're tied though. But I need to play the Scar for Scar to load Death Touch. I don't want to use snaps. I think they'll block it. I think they'll block it. I'm going to try it. Oh, oops, undo. No, that's not the end of my turn. Jesus Christ. Wait, it doesn't... Oh my god, it doesn't have go again because it's not higher. Wait, shit, sorry. Okay, sorry. Sorry, hold up. Freaking doesn't get go again. Alright, yeah, that's right. It doesn't get go again. Totally my bad. So it does have to be bullseye if I want it to have go again. Bullseye now. Load shoot. I don't think there's a real way to like make sure this plan works without using snaps. So let's just not do it then. Let's just not do it. I guess we could go Codex in theory. Can we give... Is there anything with go again in here? I guess just Scar for Scar in theory. Oh, oops. Oh my god, undo again. Jesus. I actually, like, am starting to really suck. I gotta, really end the stream. This is bad. Okay, so now it really should have been don't load. Because they full block 4. And then Codex. Bring back the Scar for Scar. Throw Scar again. Oh no, but then I wouldn't load Death Touch. Okay, so it's fine. It's actually fine. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we don't need to use Tunic, is I guess the good news. The Bolton shot has reload if it hits. Bracer's bolt. If it hits, well, they had the sync, so I don't think they were going to let it hit. But yeah, in theory, right, it reloads if it hits. I would just still need to snaps it. So I'm trying to, like, not use Snapdragons necessarily, was my point. Well, 2-card hand. We'll get him next time. This hand isn't that remarkable. I guess once again we can like force the Scar for Scar in Arsenal. It'll have go again, so we can at least go that wide. Where we go give and take. Like pitch here, Scar, load Death Dealer, shoot Drill Shot, Arsenal, whatever we draw. So we just need to make sure we have a card to discard for Codex. So that means we take the 3. Ew. Feels really bad too. Alright, it is what it is though. It is what it is. So I'd rather discard the Boulder Trap, right? Or no, this is the reaction one. So funny enough, this is never going to get used in this matchup. Because I don't think I saw Pummel last game. So would rather discard Spike Pit. Because we only need the 2 resources. We're going to go this into Scar, into Death Dealer, Load Drill, Shoot. Oh. I should have ended stream last game. I'm not feeling it anymore. Now I'm just too afraid of ending the stream 2-3. Not like this. Not like this. Okay, they do block though. So we can force the draw on the death dealer. So I guess let's just give myself a buff card. Why not? Yeah, Lace's Bloodrot's just like the highest value then. Well, not technically the highest value. Highest value would be Scar. So is Scar going to be live? They take 1, 38. They take 4, 34. So yeah, Scar would be live. So we do go Scar then. Okay. Not awful. Oh no, but then this takes the Scar that we wanted. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so trash. I guess we're forced to snaps now. This is my bad. Oh my god, the Scar was the point. The Scar is why we put it. So if we're going to snaps, then we might as well grab Death Touch. That way we can use Tunic on it. Get like a little bit more value. Oh god. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, Big Dawnblade, thanks for the game, man. It was fun. It was fun. You'll be on the lookout for a live stream armory that your LGS is doing. Oh, where at? Let me know. I'll tune in later. Part of the trade-off is streaming is that I've got to work late into the day. So some background noise doesn't hurt. Such a waste of resources. They obviously defense react this. Yep. Hopefully the aggro core of the deck can claw me out of this. I believe at some point, I'll make up for the mess that is this game. It was huge to have the, whatever that trap is called. Razor Saw when I did. That was big. That was big. Now we drill shot. Go ahead, smack that crown. Let me just make sure I don't forget that change. We're putting in Ravenous. Ravenous goes in. This guy comes out. Not for today, though. Not for today. So they block 2. Don't think it super matters. Oh, actually it does. I can break crown that way. Oh, wow. Yeah, because it's on the chain. So I can put the -2 on crown. Oh, wait, it was blade... Oh, shoot, it was blade broken anyway. Oh my god, wait, my bad, my bad. Oops, sorry. Oops. Man, yeah, we're so out of it. In my head, that had Battle Worn 2, and it totally doesn't. Jesus. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Everyone please tune out. Don't watch me anymore. It's going so bad now. At least the Ponder sets us up with a Snatch, but that does kind of jam our arsenal. Because it won't have Go again. Unfortunate. Yeah, the Snatch count probably has to go down. It's not great for a position like this. I mean, it's just objectively awful. Hopefully they come at me with a swing big. I'll take that. Swing big me, come on. Swing big me. I need a quicken. The new Ranger chest wouldn't work. The whole point is you are trying to use Tunic for Death Touch like every time. Every opportunity you have. Every opportunity you have. So I guess I'll Pitfall just so that they use Tunic. Ugh. Oh, but Pitfall, oh my god. But Pitfall has to be an arsenal. Not like this. I'm just on like such mega brain fog gameplay. This is so bad. All right, here we go. 5-card hand, we throw snatch. I wonder what happens. No, you're not supposed to have bad stuff in Arsenal. Like, the whole deck is just 0 cost aggro, basically, with a couple 1 costs, like Death Touch. So, the Clog itself is a card like Snatch. Otherwise, any buff is fine. You play it out, right? Anything with built-in Go again is fine. You play it out. So really, it's just like the Death Touch and the like snatches are the things you don't want to end your turn with in Arsenal. You want those to be at the very end of whatever you're doing. Because if you end your turn with a trap, like, cool, you know? That's just going to get played defensively anyway. So in this case, just because of barraging beatdown specifically, let's put the Pitfall in. Oh my god. Man, Sant, has your opinion on Ranger changed? I remember you not liking the playstyle. Well, Riptide is not really, like, traditional Ranger, is he? This guy is very different. Of course, the trap is banished. We love it. Like, I mean, and this version of the deck is definitely not playing like a normal Ranger at all anyway. It's just some version of, like, 0 cost aggro. With the uniqueness of Riptide in having traps that hopefully like trigger and deal damage and help trade even like kind of aggressively on defense as well. Because if you can get one of these traps off, I mean, that's worth 4 value. Dealt them a damage, also impeded them in some instance like that -1. Of course it's gone though. We said goodbye to it. So then our hand is forced to just play Death Touch, so we'll go ahead and get 3 block now. Just before that's intimed away. Swing big. Well, they're going to Tunic to have a Pitfall, not trigger. Not great. 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, we can't really get to 8 with these cards in hand. Would have been possible if we kept the Bolt and Shot. We just didn't know if we'd get intimed again. Unfortunate. So we'll at least eat their Tunic with Pitfall, I guess. Yep. Pretty obvious. If this card ever does come up, though, 6 value on a trap is pretty big. This doesn't seem to happen, does it? What's with decks like not being built for cost curves? What's up with that? You're supposed to build to use like every resource, man. But it's like 3 games now where people just have a resource floating. Yeah, Death Touch works because of Riptide's hero ability, basically. You play any buff and you get Death Touch in Arsenal. He says with 1 resource floating. Yeah, that's because we got intimed away, alright? Like, our curve is supposed to work better than this, but we had to play it this way. Because we got intimed. Like, I'd be happy in any other situation, just Arsenal Death Touch your pass. And then, if we're blocking next turn, Tunic for Death Touch. Actually, that's like pretty risky, because we could get cards intimed, so we don't get to play it that cleanly. But either way, like, I wasn't trying to make this 3-card play. That's just what was forced, because we got Boulder Trap intimed. And they play a Reckless Swing. Well, that deals me 2 damage, doesn't it? We get some free reign here. This isn't bad. It's actually not bad at all. Okay. We don't actually need to do that yet. Let's see if they block this. If they do, it could be reason to actually pay for Death Dealer. I mean, that'd be a little weird. It would be to specifically get back, like, Give and Take. Alright, they don't block it. So we go with our original plan then. This card should be Rabble. We don't love to see it then. But we'll at least force them to make the choice, I guess, on whether or not they want to eat damage or the Endless. No reason to keep it in hand, because Endless might be going back to hand. Why take aim? Just because it's a 0 for 3 buff. That's it. 0 for 3 pump. That's like a huge part of the deck. It's what you need to get things rolling. Plus, it doesn't actually have to apply to arrow, right? Like, it's the next ranger attack you play. So that does apply to Death Touch. Okay, we have a bit of an inefficient turn coming with this Death Touch. Not awful, though. I am probably fine to just eat the 6, honestly, no matter what it gets intimed. Yeah, because we want this in Arsenal. Sure. I mean, this game is so over. I've misplayed probably like 20 times this game. Like, every decision point has just been objectively wrong, almost. Target myself. Another Death Touch. Well, that's a bit rough because we won't have our tunic up for it. I mean, a 3-card 9 with an on-hit is pretty okay. I mean, if it was just a 3-card 9, that'd be absolute trash. At least we can pretend the on-hit is adding okay value. In theory, like, hopefully 11, right? Like a 3-card 11. That's not how we want to play it. We want to play it as a 2-card hand, though, right? Where we play a 0-cost, low Death Touch, shoot with Tunic. And then that's nuts. Then you're looking at literally better than Levia value right there. Need to load this deck with Sikkim and Falcon arrows. Actually, yeah, that was something someone suggested a while back. I just don't really know the Ranger card pool well, because I don't really deck build in Ranger. But adding more Gogans in, like, from those pre-existing and then, like, the new Gogan arrows probably makes sense. That's probably right. I just don't know the Ranger pool well enough to trust those decisions just yet. So I built this basically like a Cheerios Briar more than anything. I mean, this dude's been ignoring Blood Rot, so I almost want to just go Frailty because it's hopefully 3 value. So let's do it. Frailty. Please, sir. Please save me 3 life. Please. Yo, Ethan, how are you finding Riptide? What's my record? I was 3-1 with a different deck list off stream, and now I'm 2-2 on stream. But last game was just the biggest mental brain fart you've ever seen, and then it's translated over to this game. So this game and last game are not deck played at peak perfection, all right? Like, they were very thrown games. But the deck's interesting. I'm lucky to not have run into, like, Kano and Dromai, you know? I actually get real games out of it. Also played a really close game against an Azalea. That was probably my favorite game of the day. That was really fun. But they weren't all with this aggro Riptide. I was playing like a mid-range Riptide for a bit. Just, that deck definitely needs some retooling. I didn't feel like doing it on stream. Okay, well, we're getting Mega Intimed again. Let's just get Quad Intimed for the second time this game. Why not? It's par for the course, right? Yeah. E-Strike would help a lot with clunky hands. Yep. Yes, it likely would. All right, well, we're getting Quad Intimed. Oh! Well, that's a play, isn't it? Interesting. They kept that entire hand for that? I don't know about that one, Chief. At least we get to cycle this out. Nimblism, okay. We might actually get another shot at, like, winning this game. I could see it. We're going to come in for 12 on Death Touch again. I wish we had Tunic, because then we could sit on Pitfall, and that would feel pretty good. But we don't. So we'll just come in for 12. That was a really weird keep by my opponent. That's like The only way we're going to get back into the game is because they make a choice like that, where that's just like deeply inefficient. Why would they force that hard on Crown when we have, or on CNC when we have our Crown up? I don't know, but I'll let it happen. I'll let it happen. Ranger chest keeps looking better and better. No, 0%. Deck would not work with Ranger chest. This is very much a Tunic deck. You need Tunic to unlock the like broken rates, the objectively above rate plays. 3-card hand, likely not a Blood Rush, especially without Tunic, so let's give him Blood Rot. Although we could give him Inertia, so that they're forced to roll Scabs, because this is likely just 2-card Arsenal. So if we're trying to buy ourselves back into the game, Inertia would hopefully disrupt like a setup turn, but Blood Rot's more damage right now. I smell a Blood Rush setup. Because otherwise, like a 3-card hand doesn't work if they, unless they roll Scabs. So we'll make them roll Scabs, I guess. Damage is how we win, yes. But we also just straight lose to them setting up Blood Rush. So, we're trying to make that not happen. Oh my god. How many times do I have to say that the trench coat is trash in this build? There is no reason you want to trade an entire card for one resource when that doesn't operate with how the deck's supposed to work. The deck is supposed to use the free resource off Tunic to basically break turn cycles, to let you do something like a 2-card 9 with Death Touch, right? Like, you don't get that with the other piece of armor, with the trench coat. You would get a 3-card 9, and you'd be forced to cycle out your arsenal piece to get that resource. That is bad. I mean, every time we've played a 3-card 9, it's felt like garbage. So why would you chase more 3-card 9s? You know? I'd rather 2-card 9s. I would definitely rather those. Oh, and the sink is gone. We lost our sink. Every single Intimidate, man. Every single Intimidate. We still get to go Toxicity into Nimblism, Premeditate, Virulent, Arsenal, Sink. That's not awful. Oh, wait. It is yellow barraging. Well, it's not really worth going to 2, though, is it? Why'd it have to be Sink banished, man? What on earth? They already played 1 Reckless, though. But I know they play more than 1. They definitely do. They definitely do, right? I guess I can give up Premeditate just because the Ponder won't do anything. We have Sink below. So we take 4 down to 4. That's at least manageable. God, that feels awful. Oh, oops, undo. It's this first, then this, then this, then this. It's on hit 10 damage, basically, so they have to respect it. And 7's gotta be weird for them at this point, because they're down 2 Fates. They pitched a Fate, which is not coming back yet, because that was like turn 2. And all 3 Sinks. So actually, this is very tough for them. They have to give 3 cards. Ashikaze, hello. It's still on. Yeah, we're going way later than I wanted to because I could not end the stream on that piss poor last game that I played where my just brain stopped functioning. I tried to redeem myself with this match, and it's probably even worse. I'm playing so poorly. I hope no one goes back and watches this VOD. But maybe we win, and that'd be cool. Okay, they're actually going to let the hit effect through. That's a big deal, because it's 3 damage. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're rethinking about that. Because it'd be 3 damage plus Blood Rot. Well, I'm going to get the Blood Rot anyway, right? Tunic's a -1, though. Because of Drill Shot. Yeah, come on, opponent. Oh, the difference between if we had Sync to block with last turn or not, just so massive. Sigh. Now I'm even scared to Arsenal Sync. Like, now we could get stuck. Now we could truly get stuck with this Sync. There was no other way we could play that turn. Like, I don't even want to Arsenal this. I don't think I can. Yeah, okay, good thing I didn't. Because we make the same play on Virulent. They just sand sketched, though, I thought. Oh, you're right. Yeah, the sand sketch did shuffle. So that one fate could be anywhere. But it is still only one fate that we're looking for. And they didn't have it last hand. So if they have it this next hand, good for them. That's a big deal. Good for them. My opponent, like, definitely wins this game, though. They should feel more confident. Things are definitely looking good for him. Okay, so now I'm actually safe to Arsenal Sync, though, because they're probably looking for a real turn. And this is kind of cool, because I know what I'll sink into now. Let's see it. What do I draw? What do I draw? Hopefully the trap that makes him discard. Please. I need that. Oh, actually, because then it would intimidate me. Maybe I don't need that. A drill shot. Okay, well, drill shot Tunic is a 1-card hand at least. Oh my god, it showed me what they had. Okay, I apologize, opponent. It shouldn't show me that you have Reckless Swing coming next. But I appreciate... I do appreciate knowing. I shouldn't know, but now I do. Oh my god. Could have pitched it to Death Dealer. Well, I didn't necessarily, like, not want to have Sync. It's just I didn't want to have it in Arsenal. Because they had a 1-card hand, so they could have swung Claw. And in that case, like, you know, blocking 4 is better than cycling towards, like, a potential, you know, 2-block there. So depending on how they block now, though, I can get rid of Sync, I think. Maybe it was better to get rid of it exactly last turn, though, because now if they block with 3, it could still be an attack here, pitch here. But if they do keep that 2-card hand, then Sync gets value. Like, they are attacking me, so it goes in Arsenal. I wouldn't pitch it away. So I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Okay. I just want to, like, force them to block on a Blood Rush hand. I hope that happens. Because right now, they die. They take 7, so they must have a fate here. A Sigil. Okay. Double Sigil. Well, that's something, isn't it? So they still take quite a bit and end up with a Blood Rot. So now the Sync below is kind of the same question. Where, if this is just a blue, it's paying for Blood Rot. Oh, and I actually can't get rid of it to Death Dealer. I'd have to have done it first. So I can't wait for the read there. We know the next hand has Drill Shot in it. Because of that, like, it is very high priority to have Arsenal free. After all that talk about the freaking trench coat, alright? Now of course it comes up. Now of course it comes up. Where we're in an exact, specific scenario where it would be better to have trench coat. I get it, okay? This exact scenario, it would be better to have trench coat. But I promise you, it's not like that except for this exact endgame state I'm against a Rhinar. Like, when is that actually going to happen? Ay, ay, ay. Oh my god, people are stemming in chat again. Yes, yes, chest. Yes, yes, yes. It's not right for this deck, I promise you. This is just such a tough call. Because if all I do, like, if drill shot's the only thing I can do on next turn anyway, it's not good enough to win. I'm still gonna skip. Okay, this is good. This is pretty good. I like this. I'd consider Tunic plus Riptide Quiver. There you go, actually. That's a great point. Riptide Quiver in this scenario makes a lot of sense. I like that. Of course, Sync gets freaking hit again. How is this real? This goddamn card will not go away. Holy moly. Well, we definitely turn this off. I can't, like, are you serious, though? Like, you know how good this hand is otherwise? So unfortunate. So unfortunate. Well, in that case, I'll just pitch the Sync to shoot drill shot. Just do it this way.
Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you. Wow.
But drill shot isn't... Drill shot will show lethal, though, because of blood rot. So actually... Yeah, this is the right way to do it, then. Because that way I get to pitch the Sync below, get something new in Arsenal off Death Dealer. Yeah. I think this is fine. Yeah, that's actually a great point, Levi. See, I didn't even think of that other quiver because everyone's just been calling it draft chaff. But actually, yeah, in this list, it'd be way better. It'd be way better. Ooh. Things got spicy, folks. Things got spicy. All right. It's not technically a must block with 3 cards because they can take 1 and then just like pitch into the blood rot. But we like this pressure at least. I could see them blocking 3 and then with the Reckless. And then if they have a 3rd Reckless, like we just always lose to it. I could see that. No. Wouldn't using Tunic mana here be better? No. Because I wanted the Sync gone from this hand. The Sync has actually like been really bad in this end state. Alright, they're blocking cleanly with Fate. And I want to keep the Tunic up for the exact, like, kind of busted hand that's upcoming, which is a buff into Death Touch. Like, I need the Tunic to make that kind of 2-card hand live. Because, like, those hands are crazy. Those hands are nuts, which we don't quite have here, to be fair. Did it roll yet? It did not. Rolled a 5, though. So we can take 1 damage. We can't take 2 damage. So we can go Codex into the red Death Touch, though. Like, that's pretty damn strong. So I think we just do that. Can we ever end up keeping an extra card? Not really. Codex is going to make us discard. So I guess the most damage play is actually keep Give and Take plus Codex, because we can go pay for Give and Take, comes in for 3, and then we Codex in Virulent Touch, and that's technically 7. So that's better. That is technically better. And we're okay to take 1 damage. Yeah, so we can do this and go to 3. Yeah, this is fine. Bracers the Bolton. Oh, shoot, yes! Because it'd be forced go again. Ah, you're right, you're right. It's fine. We make the plays we make. Doesn't matter if it's in Arsenal. It's all the same. Yeah, that would be the most damage, is if we kept Bolton. Bolton plus this. God, that'd be so much more damage. Yeah, that'd be 5 into 6. That'd be 11. Like, literally 11 damage. Oh, God. I'm so bad at Ranger, dude. That would have been nuts. Like, that's kind of like the point of keeping Tunic, is to enable that kind of brokenness. They are blocking, though, so I can put a card with cost less than Give It Takes attack. Well, at this point, I think I just want, like, another guaranteed source of go again. Oh, so Bolton Shot is probably the best on top, because it'll enable the Bullseye's play again. So let's do that. And then we know... Oh, actually, shoot, that's not right, because we're going to have a Ponder. We're going to have a Ponder. Let me undo that, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, actually, we know that's not right, because we're going to get a Ponder. So instead, what we want is something that can get played out of Arsenal. We just want a pump. So the best kind of pump would be the one that sets us up for next time, which is Premeditate. If we squeak one through. Lance is like must block though, but that only hits arrows. So yeah, I guess it'd be Premeditate. We know their arsenal is a Reckless Swing, though. That was unfortunately a bug from Scout the Battlescape, or whatever it's called. Where is it? Scout the Periphery. It says choose you or your opponent, but it shows you both. And so on Scout, we actually saw that the top card is Reckless Swing, and that's what's in Arsenal right now. So feels a little bad. I mean, I'd be trying to play around Reckless Swing anyway, but it's nice to know that, like, we know this is not an attack. Like, he put this here so that if he gets me to 2, he wins. We do know that's the case. So hopefully that, like, starts to screw them, because we are going to play around that, of course. Best we can do is throw this for 10 on this hand. Not awful. Not awful. Not awful. We just Arsenal take aim. Actually, I shouldn't even talk about Arsenal. I think... So my opponent likely is to swing Mandible and then pay for Blood Rot, if I had to guess. Which is fine, because then we block with Boulder Trap, and then we do get our turn of this, Scar, Arsenal, take aim. I hope that's what happens. If they just pass, we're going to be like a little card inefficient, but they could also do that. Yeah, they could just be passing, right, because they want to pay for Blood Rot. Okay, interesting, so that's not even a yellow, that's a red. At this point, all 3 Blood Rush are gone. I think they have a Sigil, though, which is kind of weird, but I think they do. Oh, wait, oops. Jesus Christ. Nimblism. And then we just throw the Scar for 10. We're getting there. This is when Quiver of the Abyssal Depths does feel fine. Because we know that we can at least throw in those Bolton shots so that I don't just, like, completely throw the game again. Because are we out otherwise? We've got... No, there's still 2 Bolton shots in the deck. Okay, so, like... No. There's one there. Okay, so there's only 1 Bolton shot left in the deck. But we could force add it back once we find one of our blues with Quiver. Oh my god. I don't deserve to win this. I think we will, though. I think my opponent made a big mistake. Yeah, 3 different names. So it would, like... All we need to do is make sure we have the one bolted shot left for our bracers play. So I think he forces out the Reckless Swing here because otherwise, like, this arsenal's mega clogged. Yep. We go to 1. If this guy is running a third Reckless Swing, we will die to it. I haven't seen it pitch, though. To be fair. We are safe to put the take aim in arsenal. He claws. Okay, so we can get... I mean, what else was the boulder trap doing, right? Actually, do we want to block... We could go block with Snatch and Findles right now. That way our turn is preemptively pitch Death Dealer with Boulder Trap, play Lace, take aim, Codex, grab an arrow. No, but we don't have any 1-cost arrows, so we don't have to play it that way anyway. So yeah, we're fine to block 3. And then just go here, here, Codex, grab a 0-cost arrow, throw it. Right? We do have to discard the Snatch. I think that's fine. Is there a different line that's better? Because we're always going to be down this card blocking. So then we could start with take aim, make sure we get, I guess, the Snatch in, but we can't give the Snatch go again. Guess that doesn't work. Can still pitch Snatch to Death Dealer, yeah, so I don't actually get the discard. That's fine. Yeah, so I think we just make the 0-cost play. Once again, if they just have another Reckless, we lose to that no matter what. So let's make sure we pull an arrow out here. Alright. Take aim. Lace with blood rot. Oops. Death Dealer. Just get the Snatch out. Save it. Now we Codex. We want to get a 0-cost arrow, so everything applies. I guess... might as well grab... I mean, is there a real difference? If we grab Endless Arrow, then it could get stuck in Arsenal. So I guess we'll do like a one and done arrow, like Bolt and Shot. We're gonna have Ponder up, so it doesn't. Yeah, so Endless Arrow doesn't matter. I don't think it makes a difference. They're all 0 for 4s. Let's just do Drill Shot then. Come on, this end game is so cringe. I played the game so poor. I feel like we'll get there. We have to. Unless there's a third Reckless Swing. Unless. Take aim does buff Death Touch, but the Lace does not. The Lace does not. It only applies to arrows. They chose Command and Conquer. Honestly, pretty smart. They die, though, right? Because they get a Blood Rot. Yeah, so they die, actually. Oh, cool. Yeah. Alright, cool. Never mind. They die. Whew! All that thinking. Whew! And funny enough, there's a sink below anyway. GG. Oh, all that thinking. All that thinking. Yeah, cool. They died of Blood Debt. Or Blood Rot. Jesus. What a cringe-ass game. I played that so poorly, but GG's to my opponent. He got one off me, I got one off me. So we're ending the day at 3-2. I definitely gotta go. It has been way too long. But just to show people where we ended up on this. cut those blues, added in the Rabbles. It really is a deck that would lose to like a singular Frostbite. Not convinced this card's even that good, but it did just win us the game. So there's that. Deck seemed okay. And yet, out of all our games, we never got Pitfall off for 6 value. I feel like that's such a difference maker, though. Like, if at any point you just get the Pitfall off, like, oh, yeah, I just got 6 value on 1 card used defensively. Jeez. Oh, yeah, also, let's swap to the other quiver. This is true. Quiver. Yeah, we don't need this quiver. I think if we're going to get fatigued out, we're already just... I mean, the matchup's just doomed. So let's put this one in. Driftwood Quiver. That fixes everything. This fixes the problem. You do not need Trenchcoat. You do not want Trenchcoat. But this does fix it. Funny enough. Funny enough. I also don't know if you really want, like, 3 Snatch. Let me just check something real quick. I'm not missing, like, some obvious... like, go again attack, am I? I guess the E-Strikes, right? The E-Strikes would be the next add. Yeah, I could totally see adding E-Strikes. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, there's more to play around with. I could totally kind of see this happening where it goes to, like, 1 Snatch, or remove 1 Snatch, remove 1 Lace. Like 2 E-Strike, like this kind of thing. But maybe there's just some retooling to do with all the Gogan arrows. Although this one needs an aim counter, doesn't it? Although it has built-in Go again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's more playing around with the deck, but the link is in chat. I think conceptually it's almost there. Conceptually, like, the curve makes sense. Like, this deck is literally just to abuse 2-card 9 with Death Touch off Tunic. That is just so insanely dumb. And you can get it off with Death Touch, you can get it off with the Codexes, you can do 2-card 8 with the yellow Death Touch too. The rest of the shell is just to, like, make that rate even scarier. So, and then you've got some, like, high-value traps as well. Deck's alright. Alright, peace. That's gonna be it. It was fun. But don't look at me for your Riptide expertise, alright? I'm memeing over here. I've got Jack the Ripper, Rip Van Winkle. What was the last deck? Riptide. Alright, none of these are S tier by any means. I think this hero is not capable of being S tier. But they were all fun. And just so that they end up in the VOD, here are the other builds that I was trying. Here we go. Alright, goodbye folks. Peace.